This is going to go until 5 o'clock, so we are under severe thunderstorm warning here in the D.C. metro area for another 35 minutes. This storm moving toward the northeast at 20 miles an hour. So as we look at the threats tonight, what could we see with any storms? The biggest widespread concern is going to be heavy rain, downpours leading to flash flooding. Remember, you never want to drive through a flooded roadway, but strong winds gusting up to 60 miles an hour and tornadoes. Again, they're a possibility. We have two current severe thunderstorm, two tornado warnings out there right now. Getting a report from one of our photojournalists, BJ Forte, saying that his wife is in the Springfield area of the Beltway, saying that there's tons of lightning and crazy winds. So again, we're going to continue to track these two tornado warnings out there right now. One tornado warning. We're getting updates on these. So I want to see the latest updates. I know that we're getting updates because you can see the boxes kind of getting shaved down. So at 4:21, about 5 minutes ago, the National Weather Service saying thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado is located near La Plata, moving northeast at 25 miles an hour. This is a radar indicated tornado warning. Again, if you're in La Plata, I need you to head to your basement. If you're in the Waldorf area, you still have some time, but this is going to be around Waldorf at about 4:45. I'm hearing that we have good pictures of the National Harbor, so let's head there and check that out while I get new information in about the tornado warning that's in effect for parts of Virginia. You can see, look at the rain shaft there from that rain. That's the rain falling out of the cloud. We have confirmation, some good news here, that the National Weather Service is going to allow the tornado warning for Charles County to expire at 4:30. That means that there was the potential for a tornado, but they're no longer seeing that concern of this storm continuing to potentially produce a tornado. So in 3 minutes, less than 3 minutes, in about 2 minutes, the tornado warning for Charles County will be allowed to expire. But we still have this tornado warning in effect for until 4:45 for parts of Arlington, South Central Arlington, East Central Fairfax, as well as the city of Alexandria. So if you're in Alexandria, if you're in parts of South Arlington, parts of Fairfax, East Central Fairfax, you need to head to your basement now. This includes Franconia, the Groveton area. This storm is moving fairly slowly, only toward the northeast at 10 miles an hour. Some impact times for you. Groveton at about 4:40. We also have it impacting Alexandria and Huntington at about 4:45. So this is a radar indicated tornado warning. Again, that's in effect for parts of Arlington, the southernmost part of Arlington, the city of Alexandria, as well as parts of Fairfax. Again, this tornado warning is going to go until 4:45. So taking off the latest watches and warnings, the information there, and just showing you the rainfall rates alone and the speed and motion of the storm. You can see we're looking at this area right here. So what we're looking at, this is kind of, think of like car lights or stop lights where you're seeing the reds and the greens. This is indicating to the Doppler radar that winds are going toward and away from the radar. When you get kind of that close indication of winds going toward and away from the radar, that can be one metric of determining if there is a tornado out there. We have Chopper and Tipton right now taking a live look outside. We'll head to Chopper and look at the ominous skies there. I mean, look at how dark that sky is as these severe thunderstorms move through the area. Again, we have a tornado warning that's in effect for Franconia and Alexandria for 4:40 until 4:45. So for another 15 minutes, we're going to be covering this. Even if you're in the Bailey's Crossroads area, not a bad idea to head down to your basement. But Franconia really seeing the worst of the rainfall right now. This is heading toward Alexandria. Already starting to see the very heavy rainfall falling into parts of Alexandria. Even Mount Vernon seeing some of this very, very heavy rainfall. So we have, again, a tornado warning, the most concerning weather alert out there right now for parts of Fairfax, Franconia, into the city of Alexandria, even I would say up through the Bailey's Crossroads, just to play it safe. We have this tornado warning that's going to go until 4:45. We also have numerous severe thunderstorm warnings out there. So to kind of hit reset here on the radar, I mean, this action is really south of the district, just south of the center of the city, down through southern Maryland is where the Most rain is falling right now. We have a severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect until 5 o'clock for parts of Prince George's County. This also includes the entire district. This includes parts of Fairfax, including Lake Barcroft and the Mount Vernon area, Newington, Annandale, Hillcrest Heights, Oxon Hill, Seat Pleasant, District Heights, Morningside, Camp Springs. You're under a severe thunderstorm warning. The main concern here going to be wind gusts up to 60 miles an hour. But then we look at this tornado warning. The National Weather Service updating this about 5 minutes ago, saying that Groveton, this storm is going to be around Groveton at 4:40, Alexandria and Huntingtown at about 4:45. Other locations include Jefferson Manor. So if you are in this area right now, you need to take this storm very seriously. You need to head to your basement. Again, the National Weather Service just starting to take a little bit of Franconia out of this tornado warning. And I'm wondering if that beep, we have a new severe thunderstorm warning that's just been issued. This is for St. Mary's and Calvert counties until 5:15. So I want to go back to my map here and kind of zoom out. Okay, so we've been covering this storm since we got on air 31 minutes ago. We're continuing to see very, very heavy rainfall and the potential for wind gusts up to 60 miles an hour moving through areas of extreme southern St. Mary's County up through parts of southern Calvert County. This is going to be just south of the Calvert Beach area. And we are noticing not only wind gusts that are going to be a concern, but also the rainfall rates. Now, heading back into the city of Alexandria, again, you are under a tornado warning. This is going to go for just another 10 minutes until 4:45. We're going to stay on the air with you until the National Weather Service allows this tornado warning to expire. Getting an update here in the chat about the Charles County warning. Again, they did allow that tornado warning to expire, but we're still keeping a very close eye on this tornado warning that is pretty much triangulates Franconia, Bailey's Crossroads, and Alexandria. So if you're in these locations right now, Eisenhower Avenue, this is a very populated area. There's so many shops and stores and apartment buildings, condo buildings, homes there. You need to seek shelter now around West Glebe Road, Braddock Road. If you know a loved one that's in these areas, tell them to go to a safe spot to ride out this storm system. Even if there's not a tornado in the storm system, just stopping the radar and looking at the rainfall rates. The rainfall rates with this storm approaching Alexandria, over 2 inches of rain an hour. So that alone is going to lead to flooding concerns. And then you add in the potential for wind concerns, and whether it be straight line winds or rotating winds, we do have that concern for, again, we still have that concern for the potential of wind damage out there. Jason, I'm seeing that the tornado warning is no longer on here. I'm wondering if they
just canceled it.
They just canceled it?
A weekend below severe limits.
Okay, so that's great news. Okay, and I see that in the chat too. So the tornado warning, good news here for South Central Arlington, East Central Fairfax counties and the city of Alexandria has been canceled. The storm prompted the warning. No longer appears to be capable of producing a tornado, therefore it's been canceled. So when I hit reset there, okay, we have a live shot of Alexandria near Holmes Run Park. So let's head to that live shot, because even though we no longer have a tornado warning there, we have, rainfall amounts that are moving through this area that are going to continue to produce the potential for flash flooding out there tonight. So you can see a live look there. Not much wind coming from this picture, but notice the rainfall there. I mean, an absolute deluge, an absolute soaker. So when you get heavy rain moving through urban areas, especially at this time of day when so many folks are on the road trying to get home from work or get out to after school activities, picking the kids up from camp, you can have flooding very easily with these rainfall rates. So again, this is just an absolute downpour. We're seeing very little wind from this live shot. And the biggest concern, as I've said, area-wide tonight is going to be flooding. So as we head back to graphics right now, I want to show you the severe weather outlook. We'll hit reset, and then we can probably continue on with the newscast, but I'll let Danielle, our producer, let me know the plan here. So here's the severe weather outlook for tonight. And this is why we're in weather alert mode, okay? Biggest concern, heavy rain area-wide. Downpours leading to flash flooding in spots, which is very concerning. If you can stay at home tonight and avoid traveling, that's going to be the way to go. We have strong winds, potentially gusting up to 60 miles an hour, and a few isolated tornadoes are also possible. I've already covered covered 2 tornado warnings this afternoon, one for Charles County that was allowed to expire, and one for Alexandria, parts of Arlington and Fairfax counties that's also been allowed to expire. That being said, still tracking extremely heavy rainfall. Flood watch is in effect for the DC and Baltimore metro areas through the very late hours tonight through 2 a.m. on your Tuesday. This includes parts of Loudoun, Fairfax, Prince George's, Montgomery, Howard, Anne Arundel counties, the district, Arlington, and Alexandria. We have a very serious flash flood warning in effect until 8 o'clock tonight. This includes the district down through Woodbridge and Quantico, back through Fairfax and the city of Fairfax. So again, this flash flood warning is in effect until 8 o'clock tonight. We also have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 5 o'clock for parts of the DC metro area and areas to the south. So we're seeing a ton of lightning out there right now. So much lightning passing over 95, over 301, down through the Leonardtown area. Looking at some of the heaviest rainfall right now, again, it's from the district, pretty much the entire city right now getting in on this rainfall, and then continuing south towards the Waldorf area, toward Mechanicsville. We also have that severe thunderstorm warning in effect for parts of St. Mary's and Calvert County. So here's a look at the bigger picture. Again, a warm front's moving through, and as I kind of alluded to earlier, warm fronts, they're not as neat, they're not as tidy as a cold front. A cold front moves through, you have the storms, you have the change in wind direction, you have temperatures typically lower, typically humidity will drop as well. Warm fronts, well, they can continue to produce storms, to produce heavy rainfall until they're well out of the area. So we're waiting for a warm front to lift through tonight, and then a cold front moves through the area tomorrow. As that cold front moves through the area, we'll call our chance of thunderstorm, well, our chance for thunderstorms, I should say, will dwindle. So stepping out, timing out future weather for you.
Flash flood warning.
We have a new flash flood warning
Arlington,
for Arlington and
Fairfax, Alexandria.
for Arlington, Fairfax, and Alexandria. Does this one go until 8 o'clock?
7:45.
Until 7:45. So where that severe thunderstorm warning was, we now have a flash flood warning there. I want to show you future weather. So we have this storms, the heavy rain continuing to move through, and this could be one of those nights where we still get heavy rain in spots overnight tonight. Look at 2, 3 a.m. Still tracking downpours into parts of the area. Tomorrow morning, it's starting off dry. As we head toward the afternoon hours, though, we'll see showers and thunderstorms develop as the actual cold front moves through. So let's head to this new flash flood warning, because this is something that again, you always have to take very seriously. So we have, let me take off the severe thunderstorm warnings here so we can see where this flash flood warning is. And while I'm doing this, An and Leon, if you have any questions, anything that you're hearing, I'm happy to kind of chat about what we're dealing with on this Monday afternoon, another Monday afternoon where we have, severe weather moving through the area, and the latest being, a flash flood warning that includes the district, parts of Arlington, Alexandria, the city of Falls Church, parts of Prince George's County, that's going to go until 8 o'clock tonight.
So I know that this is a fast-moving system, Amelia, and there have been a lot of changes. So both the tornado warnings are now expired, right?
Correct. We don't have any tornado warnings in effect. At this point, I think the biggest concern with the warnings out there are going to be the flooding, because flash flooding, you can't prepare for it. If you're in your car and you happen to be in a low-lying or poor drainage area, the water rises so quickly. This is where folks get trapped. So timing this out with the evening commute, I mean, this is less than ideal, unfortunately, for folks to kind of trying to be winding down their day and dealing with flash flooding.
And what's so dangerous about the flash flooding is it doesn't have to be raining where you are for you to be caught in it, right? It can actually be raining someplace else, and it just happens to flow or build up where you happen to be. Correct.
If you have, kind of the drainage, kind of coming towards your area, that can certainly be the case. I'm hearing, Anna and Leon, that we also have live pictures out there as well now.
I believe you have more. I believe this is the Largo shot here with one of our crew
Prince
cars.
George's County, right? You can see the rain coming down. Talk about the rain and what that's going to look like for the rest of the evening.
Yeah, that's great. A great question. And so for the rest of the evening, this right now is going to be our main event. We're going to continue to deal with this heavy rainfall through the DC metro area for about another 20 minutes out there. We'll still, though, have rounds of rain out there tonight. we're going to have the potential for still some heavier rain into spots during the overnight hours. While these storms will take a lot of energy out of the atmosphere, they're not going to take all of the energy out of the atmosphere. You know, typically we'll have storms move through and then the rest of the evening's rather quiet. Tonight's a night where we could still have some downpours, some heavy rain in spots after this first wave moves through. For instance, you know, just looking at the radar back into parts of the panhandle of West Virginia around Martinsburg, still seeing some heavy rain there. But again, the heaviest rainfall right now falling around the district down through southern Maryland. But as you know, brought up, it's not just, this isn't the only rain that we're seeing tonight. We could have more rain into the overnight hours, and then we'll have some scattered showers and thunderstorms out there tomorrow. I'm not seeing tomorrow's severe weather threat as great as today. But again, today, you know, it's the straight line wind damage, the potential for a few isolated tornado warnings, and again, really for everybody, the heavy rainfall is going to be a really big concern out there.
Looking at the camera shots that we've had in Largo and also in Arlington, the winds don't seem to be very, very strong or heavy, at least in these areas.
Right.
And looking at the radar, it seems like these storm systems are moving through so quickly.
Yeah.
They're not carrying that much heavy wind along with them.
Yeah, thankfully we're not seeing a ton of wind, and I think the National Weather Service did a great job this afternoon issuing the flood watch that's in effect for the Baltimore and DC metro areas. Again, with these rain events, we're picking up 1 to 3 inches of rain an hour. And we're seeing some flash flooding in spots. What's that, Jason?
DC, Montgomery, Prince George's flash flood.
Yeah, okay, so we have added on to our flash flood warning now. So this flash flood warning, guys, just keeps getting extended right now. It goes from Prince William into the district, into Prince George's through the evening hours. We're headed to break. We'll have much more coming up throughout the rest of the evening. But again, we're tracking some flash flooding out there tonight and the potential for a tornado as well.
Many gutter companies overpromise and underdeliver. Gutter Helmet by Ledner Home Solutions strengthens, fastens, and protects your existing gutters to withstand all weather conditions. Call 8885-HELMET today for your free estimate. And for a limited time, get 50% off installation.
When migraine strikes, are the trade-offs of treating worth it? Ubrelvy is another option. It quickly stops migraine in its tracks. Do not take with strong CYP3A4 inhibitors. Allergic reactions to Ubrelvy can happen. Most common side effects were nausea and sleepiness. Ask about Ubrelvy.
Want to leave works all day so I can keep working my magic. Just want to leave. 12 hours of uninterrupted pain relief. Aleve, who do you take it for? And for fast topical pain relief, try Aleve X.
Did you know taking Xyzal at night relieves allergies while you sleep? So you wake refreshed for a more productive day. Get 24-hour continuous relief that does not fade. Be wise all, take Xyzal at night.
Pesky leaks? Gorilla Waterproof Patch and Seal Spray seals out water, air, and moisture. Stops and prevents leaks indoors, outdoors, and virtually anywhere you need. Available in a full line of sealant products.
King Spa is not just an ordinary spa. We were the first Korean spa to exist in the United States. We are trying to combine modern features with authentic Korean cultures. We are very proud of what we have built here so far. We are very grateful for the presence of M&T. I just thought that traditionally banking service is just a banking service, but it's more like friendship, to be honest.
I definitely see M&T growing with us. I just think they're the best partner we could have.
Legal Counsel for the Elderly champions the dignity and rights of Washington, D.C. elders by providing free legal services to those most in need.
It was my social worker that told me about the Legal Counsel for the Elderly, and they saved my life. I mean, literally, they saved my life.
If you need legal advice or representation related to housing, Social Security, veterans benefits, long-term care, or you need a will prepared, call the LCE Legal Hotline at 202-434-2120.
Climbing a ladder to clean your gutters is dangerous. Millions of homeowners stay off ladders with the best clog-free gutter solution in America. Gutter Helmet by Ledner Home Solutions. Call 8885-HELMET for a free estimate, and for a limited time, get 50% off installation.
We are in Storm Team 4 weather alert mode right now with Parts of our area under flash flood warnings because of the heavy rain that's coming down in so many cities and regions and counties right now.
Much of the area under either some sort of a flood warning or flood watch at this particular point. Prince George's County being one of those areas that's under a flood warning right now. And our Darcy Spencer is out there right now in Largo, and she's checking in to give us the latest on what she's seeing out there. Darcy, what are you seeing?
Well, I'm right over in the Largo area of the county, and, you know, it just feels the exact same thing that we went through just about a week ago with the heavy rain, the lightning, and actually some winds and pulling on the roadways. I would say that we're getting a lot more heavy damage from the last storm we experienced last week. I drove from the Suitland area up to the Largo area on the Beltway, and I can say very heavy traffic, some heavy rain, just depending on, it can be blinding conditions. So definitely don't want to head out at this time. You want to wait for the storm to blow over. So we are seeing a lot of lightning, and unfortunately with this time of day, we're seeing a lot of traffic. So be prepared for that if you're out there. Make sure you're going slowly. Make sure you have your lights on. Right now, we're not hearing of any damage here in the area, but again, we just heard thunder again. So severe thunderstorm coming through the area right here in Prince George's County right now.
Darcy, when you were driving around, did you see the ponding water or high water on the roads, anything like that?
Yeah, we actually did see some of that here in the Largo area off of 202 Landover Road. We are seeing some pulling on the roadway, as well as we were off of McCormick Drive right in the government center area. So there is some pulling on the roadway. So I think, you know, you can drive through it, but definitely want to slow it down because of the road spray. And, you know, that can happen anywhere, and you can come upon it very quickly without realizing it. So, you know, if you take it a little bit slowly, you should be okay. But we are seeing a little bit of that this week compared to last week, where it came down really fast. It was coming down really fast a little bit earlier. It's eased off a little bit right now.
Yeah, even on the
but
pavement.
It does seem to be coming in waves.
Yeah, even in the pavement and your live shot behind you, you could just see that's just a lot of water that's starting to pile up there.
And it does look like there is some wind blowing that rain across that parking lot there. Darcy, of course, this timing is everything. And for this to be hitting right during the rush hour, the worst time of the day probably, did you see anybody, did you see motorists having a difficulty getting around out there?
So far, no. You know, compared to last week, Prince George's County government actually shut down early because we knew when it was going to be hitting, and there was a lot of earlier preparation with some of the offices shutting down at 3 o'clock. So this is hitting, as you say, in the prime time where people are trying to get home with a normal rush hour period. So I would say there's a lot more traffic out on the roadways this time during the storm than we saw last week.
Yeah, and then part of the storm that you happen to be in, we saw on Amelia's radar a bit ago, lightning was everywhere out there, and you're seeing lots of it?
Yeah, absolutely, and thunder as well. And, you know, you can see that we're over here in the Largo area where there's a lot of new development. We're near the Wegmans for people who may know this area. So, yeah, I mean, you can drive through here. You can see that the rain is pulling, and there is some wind, a little bit more wind, and you're probably seeing those flashes of lightning right now. So I would say not the best driving conditions. So the best advice is to wait if you have to go somewhere, and definitely slowly if you have.
I know that Wegmans well.
Yeah, but if what Darcy said and what Amelia's been saying, if there's any way to either delay your commute or try to ride it out. We know these flash flood warnings are still in effect until at least 7:45, in some cases 8 o'clock, and who knows if it'll be extended. But at this rate, it's the timing, as you mentioned, Leon. We're in the middle of rush hour, and Amelia, we don't know if that's going to make it difficult for people to try to stay off the roads at this time.
Oh my! And the concern is with flash flooding, the water rises so quickly that you're literally trapped there. We have new severe thunderstorm warnings coming in. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning that's going to go until 5:30. This includes the district, parts of Prince George's, Montgomery, Anne Arundel counties, Bowie is included in this severe thunderstorm warning. And again, this is going to go for another 30 minutes. The concerns with this severe thunderstorm warning, gusts up to 60 miles an hour. But as Leon pointed out, and as we're seeing a lot of our drive cam shots, the winds don't seem to be a big issue. It's flooding that is the big issue out there right now. But I will say Reagan National reported a wind gust of 58 miles an hour. Lexington Park down in southern Maryland reported the storm totals from this rain so far. It's only been raining there for an hour or two of 3.1 inches. So incredible rainfall amounts. And we're starting to hear stories like this. Our storm report coming in reported at 4:36 in Ravensworth, in the city of Ravensworth. So Old Keene Mill Road closed at Rolling Road. People stranded in cars with water there at least 2 feet deep. So this is right around the city of Fairfax. So we are getting reports of flash flooding that is stranding drivers. And you can see the water depth there, 2 feet. I mean, that is a lot of standing water out there. This is why most of the area is under a flash flood watch through very late tonight. Here's a look at the bigger picture. We have a ton of lightning right now moving through Prince George's County, right around the Beltway, down through the Waldorf and Leonardtown areas, down through southern Maryland. We have severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for parts of Bowie, back through Washington, around the Laurel areas, around Upper Marble that are going to go until 5:30, down through areas of Leonardtown, down into parts of St. Mary's County. Also seeing some very heavy rainfall into parts of central Calvert County, crossing over the bay as well. We have a new flash flood warning down here for the Valley Lee area in St. Mary's County. The National Weather Service just issuing this. Not only is there a severe thunderstorm warning there until 5:15, but we have a flash flood warning there until 8 o'clock as well. In this location, which has seen a ton of rainfall on in Leon, we're being told that 2 to 4 inches of rain have fallen into parts of the St. Mary's County area. So southeastern St. Mary's County in southern Maryland, again, is under a flash flood warning. This includes St. Mary's City, California, Valley Lee, Park Hall, the Great Mills area, St. Mary's River, Piney Point, and White Point Beach. The biggest concerns tonight going to be, again, very heavy rainfall, flash flooding. We're talking about inches and inches of rain potentially being unloaded from these storms that are moving through the area. Strong winds, yeah, that's a concern, but from what I'm seeing out there, heavy rain leading to flooding. The biggest concern, we've had 2 tornado reports, 2 tornado warnings, I should say. We've had 2 tornado warnings issued. No confirmation yet if a tornado actually touched down, but a tornado is possible this evening. The big concern for everybody, though, is going to be heavy rain leading to some flash flooding. So if you can avoid driving, if you know somebody that's going to be driving through this heavy rain that's generally moving towards the east-northeast right now, so around the district and areas off to the east, so Prince George's, Anne Arundel counties down through southern Maryland, these are the locations that you really want to avoid travel over the next couple of hours, if at all possible. With a flash flood, numerous flash flood warnings and watches in effect. We have the entire district, Arlington, Alexandria, into parts of Prince George's County, out around the Bowie area, back through Fairfax County, central and southern Fairfax County, into Prince William County, just south of Manassas, under flash flood warnings in effect through 8 o'clock tonight. Danielle, what was that about Arlington? I think we have 395 in Arlington, so let's take a look out there at the situation going on. And again, where we're seeing very, very heavy rainfall tonight. You can see, of course, the outbound direction, people leaving, heading home from work. The volume there, not surprising for this time of day. Very, very heavy rainfall. And Leon, I think this was a great point that you said earlier. Looking at the trees there, there's not much movement to them, right?
I mean, exactly. And considering how quickly those storms seem to be moving across your radar, it would appear to an untrained eye like mine that there should be a lot of wind out there as well, but I don't see any. Yeah,
these storms, and one of the reasons, Anna and Leon, that these storms have so much rain, are being able to unload so much moisture. The atmosphere is very juicy, so throughout the atmosphere, there's a lot of moisture to work with. And basically here at the surface, even just looking at some very rudimentary, very easy to look at indicators, the dew point temperatures, the amount of moisture out there is incredible right now. I talk about dew point temperatures a lot. We say it's humid if the dew point temperature is above 65. To have dew point temperatures in the low to mid 70s, near 80 degrees over in Cambridge, that is absolutely tropical out there. So there's so much moisture in the atmosphere right now as this warm front lifts through the area. Here's a look at the bigger picture. Again, this is the main event right now. It's moving east of Washington, so it's impacting parts of Prince George's, Anne Arundel counties down through southern Maryland. We do have some rain back into far western Maryland, back into the panhandle of West Virginia, but really the big action right now happening down in southern Maryland and up through Prince George's and Anne Arundel counties. So throughout the next couple of hours, we're going to continue to deal with heavy rain, downpours in spots, and the potential for a tornado warning or two. Flash flood warnings in effect for the immediate metro area back through parts of northern Virginia through the evening hours. So what to expect out there tonight? Heavy rain and downpours in spots. Not everybody is going to get heavy rain tonight, but where it rains, it will pour. We're already getting reports of flooding in spots, and a tornado is still possible out there tonight. Again, we've reported on 2 tornado warnings, no confirmation of a tornado, but this is an evening where you definitely want to remain weather ready as this storm system continues to impact the region. And this isn't just a right now thing. We could continue to see some heavy rain in spots, some downpours in spots, even heading on into the overnight hours. So that tornado threat kind of ratchets down as the sun goes down, sunset just after 8 o'clock right now. But the concern for some heavy rain, some downpours, some flooding is going to continue into the overnight hours tonight. So something to keep in mind if you were planning on maybe traveling or you know somebody that's going to be on the road later tonight. You do need to keep that in mind with that flash flood watch in effect for, again, the DC and Baltimore metro areas through very late tonight. So looking at the picture right now, I kind of want to reset with the latest watches and warnings before we reset for News 4 at 5. But here's the latest right now. We have these flash flood warnings, very serious flash flood warnings in effect from Quantico up through Woodbridge, through the city of Fairfax, into the district, into parts of Prince George's County. We also have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Berwyn, Kettering, Bowie area, up through Greenbelt, Lanham, Vansville, Laurel under this severe thunderstorm warning, as well as Capitol Heights. And we're continuing to get new warnings coming in. This one is a marine warning. We have reports of in southeast DC of just over an inch of rain in a rain gauge at Martin Luther King Avenue. We will have much more coming up on News 4 at 5.
All right, take a break, Amelia. We'll get back to you in just a bit. News 4 at 5 is coming up next. We'll reset things here. Here's a live look outside right now tonight as we track severe weather. Much of the area under a flood watch. Some of you have even seen a tornado warning already this evening. Storm Team 4 is going to be tracking it all for you coming up next.
The Scene on NBC4 is brought to you by MGM National Harbor.
You get more for your money at Thompson Creek. With Thompson Creek's energy-efficient windows, you'll see your utility bills go down as the summer heats up. Don't wait. Get windows now and pay later.
And because we design, build, and install, there's no middleman markup.
So we can pass the savings on to you.
For a limited time, buy one window, get one 40% off.
Call now to save 40%.
Call 855-57-CREEK now for this amazing offer.
The circus is leaving town. Circus Vasquez at Potomac Mills. Shows every single day until August 20th. Get your discounted tickets at circusvasquez.com.
Every business deserves a great deal. That's why Comcast Business is launching the Mobile Made Free event. With our business internet, new and existing customers can get 1 year of unlimited mobile for free. It's our best internet, powered by the next generation 10G network, and with 99.9% reliability. Plus 1 line of free mobile for an entire year. It's the Mobile Made Free event happening now.
Get started for just $49 a month. Plus, ask how to get 1 free line of unlimited mobile. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Vinyl flooring is luxurious and soft underfoot. Right now at National Floors Direct, get an entire room of luxury vinyl flooring installed the next day for just $788 and no interest for 1 year. Call 888-400-FLOOR. We'll bring the store to your door.
At News 4, we do what we do.
Because it's important to you.
More of you turn to News 4 for local news.
And weather.
It's not just about being number one.
It's about you.
Working for you.
More of you depend on us.
on more platforms to help you plan.
Make smarter decisions. Save money.
And smile. We're a family, and you're a part of it.
Thank you for making News 4 your most watched local news. We're working for you.
News 4 begins with a Storm Team 4 weather alert.
And we are off to a stormy start to this work week. If you've looked outside, if you've been watching, we are in weather alert mode right now. Thanks for joining us. I'm Sean Yancey.
And I'm Leon Harris. A storm system is moving through our area right now. We've already seen tornado warnings and thunderstorm warnings this evening. And with those warnings come heavy rain and strong winds. Many of us under a flood watch lasting for the next few hours.
Yeah, let's take a live look right now at the White House this evening as we're about to hit 5 o'clock. This is where you can see the weather moving through. It's lighting up the sky. It is coming down pretty heavy out there all across the district. Storm Team 4 meteorologist Amelia Draper joins us now. Amelia, the question is, how are these severe storms going to continue all evening?
Well, we're going to continue to see the potential for very heavy rainfall out there at times throughout the evening and overnight hours. And that's going to be the biggest concern tonight, Sean and Leon. Heavy rain leading to flash flooding. We have a flash flood warning in effect for the district into parts of Prince George's County, out around the Lanham, Kettering areas, back through parts of Fairfax County, including the city of Fairfax, down 95 through Woodbridge, just to Quantico. So this entire area here in Burgundy is going to be under a flash flood warning that goes until 8 o'clock tonight. In addition to the flash flood warning, we also have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for northern Prince George's County, including Bowie, up into parts of Anne Arundel County, along I-95. This severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 5:30. The concern with the flash flood warning, 1 to 3 inches of rainfall, potentially even more in spots, leading to flooding that happens so quickly. People have very little time to react. The concern with the severe thunderstorm warning, gusts up to 60 miles an hour, producing some wind damage. And you can see, speaking of the damage in the storm reports, we're already getting reports coming in. Reagan National reporting a wind gust of 58 miles an hour. Flash flooding reported in the Ravensworth area around 4:35. Old Keene Mill Road closed at Rolling Road. We're getting reports that people were stranded in their cars with water at least 2 feet deep. So this is just going to be south of the city of Fairfax. Then we have another storm report coming in from Dale City area. So this report coming in at about 4:50. The National Weather Service saying that a large tree about 2 to 3 feet in diameter fell down onto power lines near the intersection of Bacon Race Road and Cannon Bluff Drive. So these are some storm reports we're already getting into the area as this storm system moves through, a warm front lifting through the region, leading to all of this nasty severe weather across the region. Rainfall rates are prolific in spots. We're getting reports from trained spotters of rainfall rates in excess of 3 inches from this storm system this afternoon that continues on into this evening. A lot of lightning now down into southern Maryland, up through parts of Prince George's County, out around the Bowie area. Even seeing some heavy rainfall right now moving through parts of Frederick and Washington counties in Maryland. But again, the heaviest rain right now is from Bowie down through Calvert Beach, out around the Leonardtown area. Before we head to Darcy right now, I want to pass along the final flash flood warning that includes the southernmost parts of St. Mary's County, Valley Lee. This is going to go through the evening hours as well. Again, the biggest concern tonight, heavy rain, downpours in spots, leading to some flooding. With that, we'll send things out to Darcy. Darcy, where are you? What are you seeing? This is another Monday with extremely heavy rainfall.
Right, so what you're seeing right now on our shot is Route 50 East. We were over in the Largo area the last time we spoke to you. We came around the Beltway north to 50 East, and you can see the visibility is very poor here on 50 East, and you can see there is traffic, as we mentioned. Some people have their hazards on, traveling very slowly. Unfortunately, not everyone traveling slowly, considering these conditions, but you can barely see off in the distance because of the gray skies and the heavy rain. So again, as we keep talking about, it's not advisable to go out and try to get anywhere at this hour. This is the rush hour. People were, many of them already on the roadway when the storm hit. We are approaching, for people may know the area, around Freeway Airport here in the Bowie area. As you mentioned, this is the area getting hit very hard right now. I can see off in the distance even cars pulled off on the shoulder with their hazard lights on. Not sure if they're broken down or if people just wanting to get off the roadway due to these conditions. Up on the right here of our shot is Freeway Airport, just for landmark reference. So you can see this heavy rain. We're still getting quite a bit of lightning here in the area, as well as thunder and just some very challenging driving conditions. And it is coming down continuously. It's coming down pretty hard in different spurts. So definitely there's opportunity for a lot of road spray and potentially flooding here in the area.
Hey, Darcy, I'm just curious, in the area where you are, I know we can see some people have started to pull over on the side of the road. It's coming down out there. Are you seeing lightning as well?
Yes, we are still seeing a lot of lightning. We were seeing it over in the Landover, Largo area. And as we're traveling east, we're approaching Old Town Bowie right now. As you know, that area, Church Road, we just passed on the Church Road, approaching the Bowie Town Center. Yes, we are continuing to see lightning here in the area. You may have just seen that, some big flashes just now. We approach Collington Boulevard by Bowie Town Center, thunder as well. So it's, needless to say, pretty treacherous out here. And again, the rain, it lets up a little bit, and then you'll get another downpour. So definitely want to wait this one out.
Yeah, but it looks like the road conditions aren't too bad. Are you seeing lots of ponding out there?
Here on 50, not so much. We were seeing a little bit when we were on 202 Landover Road. There was some road spray in that area, as well as McCormick Drive. We did see some of the ponding there. So it really is going to depend on the road itself, what the drainage issues are, if there are any drainage issues in some of these roadways. But here on 50, we haven't seen anything like that as of yet.
Well, it looks like the drivers to the left of you are having no problem getting through. Can you give us an idea of what speed you're moving at?
We're only going about 30-something miles an hour. You know, we just obviously want to be very cautious. I believe it may be a 60-mile-an-hour zone here. Not sure, but we're going very slowly.
Yeah, we see the other.
Want to be cautious. Yeah, and you see that lightning just flash again on the shot.
Absolutely. And just a reminder to our viewers who are watching right now, if you lose power at any point, just a reminder, you can follow us on all of our social media, on our app, and also on Facebook, online. We're everywhere, so you can stay with Amelia to get the very latest on the watches and warnings moving across our area.
Yeah, and some very concerning news just coming in from the National Weather Service. Emergency management is reporting flash flooding in Springfield and Alexandria, so in Northern Virginia. Again, this is Springfield and Alexandria. Flash flooding is ongoing. It is being observed. It is happening. The National Weather Service tagging this as a life-threatening flash flood. Thunderstorms are producing 2 to 4 inches of rain. This includes Arlington, Annandale, Fort Hunt, Huntington, Crystal City, Reagan National, Hybla Valley, Lake Barcroft, Ballston, Springfield, Mount Vernon, Alexandria, the Groveton, Fort Belvoir areas, Franconia, Newington, parts of 395 and 495, including the Sevens Corners area. So some flood-prone roads in these locations. Again, this is for Springfield and Alexandria, where a very serious flash flood is continuing to unfold there. We have South Troy Street near Long Branch. We have West Street near Braddock Road and Holmes Run below Lake Barcroft. So in these locations, flash flooding is being observed. The National Weather Service Emergency Management saying that there are numerous rescues happening. If you live in these locations, you live in a lower level, for instance, maybe you live in a basement apartment or you have a basement, this is going to be a time where you do not want to head to your basement. Again, this is for the Springfield and Alexandria areas where a flash flood warning is in effect until 7:45. So again, Springfield and Alexandria, we are hearing the most dire weather reports coming out of these locations. 2 to 4 inches of rain is leading to flash flooding. We've gotten reports of multiple people stranded in cars. We actually have a new storm damage report coming in, but in the Ravensworth area at 436, you can see the water there was at least 2 feet deep. Old Keene Mill Road was closed at Rolling Road with people stranded in the cars. Sean and Leon, I just want to look at this new storm report that I just saw pop up here. So this is going to be in the Barcroft area. A flash flood being reported there at 442. So just over 20 minutes ago, Columbia Pike at South Greenbrier Street closed due to water flowing across the road. So as we continue throughout the evening hours, the biggest concern is going to be flooding out there with a flood watch in effect for the DC and Baltimore metro areas through late tonight. And you can see Leon brought this point up earlier. Flash flooding is being reported in the Springfield and Alexandria areas right now, where the heaviest rain is off to the east. So even though the heaviest rain has now moved out of the area, that water still needs a place to go. And what is happening? It has no place to go. So it is leading to some very serious flash flooding into parts of Virginia, where flash flood warnings are in effect from the Quantico area up through Fairfax into the district until about 8 o'clock tonight. So if you can, you want to stay home tonight, avoid travel. We also have a flash flood warning in effect for Valley Lee area of St. Mary's County until 8 o'clock tonight. Heavy rain's the biggest concern tonight. I've reported on 2 tornado warnings, no confirmation of tornadoes, but that is also possible. But again, the biggest concern, Sean and Leon, going to be flash flooding out there tonight, which happens when the water falls so quickly and at such a rate. The water quickly rises because it has nowhere to go, and then it traps people into their cars, into things like that. So again, here are the latest watches and warnings out there as far as the flash flood is concerned. All of the areas here in Greene and Burgundy are under flash flood watch through very late tonight. And then we have flash flood warnings in effect for parts of Prince William County, south and east of Manassas, up through Fairfax, all of Alexandria into the district, into parts of Prince George's counties, just to Prince George's County, just to the west of Bowie. But we're hearing the most severe flooding, flash flooding, is occurring right now in the Springfield and Alexandria areas. What to expect for the rest of tonight? Heavy rain and downpours in spots. Where it rains, it pours. Not everybody's going to see rain, but where it does rain, we're looking at very, very heavy rainfall. We've already picked up 2 to 4 inches of rain, even higher amounts in some areas. Flooding is ongoing in locations and will continue to be a concern. And I also can't rule out another tornado warning or 2 out there tonight. But I can't say this enough. The biggest concern I'm seeing unfold this afternoon into these evening hours on another stormy Monday is heavy rain leading to flash flooding. The most intense rainfall right now lining up with the bay, about to head across the bay, but we still have more rain back to the west. So this is round 1. We could have a few more rounds of rain, at least another round of rain, and it might not be in the next hour or 2. We might get a nice break, and then we could have some heavy rain moving through the area overnight tonight. Some more downpours are possible as we're sleeping tonight. That's why the flood watch is in effect through very late tonight. Something to help feed this rain, how moist the atmosphere is. The atmosphere has so much water to work with right now. It's like a sponge that is filled up with water and it can't hold any more, and it is releasing all of this water over our area. And again, we could still have some more downpours out there overnight tonight. I'll have much more coming up after the break.
Getting back to school and in your routine is tough.
That's why we're working for you.
With 4 things to know to start your day.
Helping you plan what to wear to the bus stop.
And getting you out the door on time.
News for today, getting you ready for school.
And working for you.
Hi, I'm Katie from Long Baths.
Highest quality doesn't have to mean highest price. This month, get 50% off installation of your new bath or shower, plus no payments and no interest for 2 full years.
Isn't it time you got along?
At Honda, we think owning a vehicle should be stress-free. That's why we offer complimentary maintenance for 2 years or 24,000 miles with the Honda Service Pass program. Just enjoy the ride, knowing we cover routine items like oil changes, tire rotations, and multi-point inspections. Honda Service Pass, available to purchasers of all 2023 Honda vehicles. Get yours today.
Belfort Furniture's Labor Day celebration is going on now. It's a great time to refresh your home with a new look from Belfort, voted best furniture store in Northern Virginia. Come in and enjoy instant rebates on top brand furniture. Discover hundreds of bedrooms, living rooms, and dining rooms to create a home you'll love. Custom order or choose from our huge in-stock selection.
The biggest selection, the best prices. Nobody beats Belfort.
Save big. The Labor Day celebration at Belfort, Washington's largest furniture and mattress store.
When you get to work, turn on 97.1 Wash FM for 2 hours of commercial-free music. 2 hours of non-stop variety starting at 8:40. Washington's variety station, 97.1 Wash FM.
Help NBC4 and Telemundo 44 clear the shelters, supported by FH Fur.
weather alert. We continue in weather alert mode this evening as we're watching these storms rolling through the area with some serious amounts of rain coming down per hour.
Yeah, this is pretty heavy out there.
Really serious situation. Just talking with our executive weather producer, Jason, you know, where are we going next? What is kind of the plan from here? I think fairly shortly, this is going to go from me tracking what's on the radar right now to us getting our reporters out and kind of unfortunately looking at the damage, looking at all the water rescues that I'm hearing coming in. I've already gotten reports of a handful of those out there.
Yeah, we know there's some areas that are always prone to being flooded, like in Alexandria. So we know there are going to be some bad scenes out there this evening.
Yeah, unfortunately there are. And the heaviest rain now is to the east of Washington. But I want to pass along the latest warnings and watches that are out there. So we have a flash flood warning that's in effect for parts of the district, out through parts of the D.C. area, into parts of Prince George's County. This is going to go until 8 o'clock tonight. So again, all of the areas here in Burgundy are under a flash flood warning. This includes Alexandria, where we're hearing some very serious flash flooding is occurring, as well as the Springfield area. The city of Fairfax down through Woodbridge, just to the north of Quantico, are under a flash flood warning. We still have a severe thunderstorm warning for another 15 minutes for Prince George's County. That includes Bowie, Laurel, Upper Marlboro areas, Kettering, the Lanham areas are under the severe thunderstorm warning. The potential here for wind gusts upwards of 60 miles an hour. To pass along some of the storm reports that we're already getting into parts of the Ravensworth area. Old Keene Mill Road is closed at Rolling Road with people stranded in their cars. Water is at least 2 feet deep in this location here into parts of Northern Virginia. We also have thunderstorm wind damage. While a lot of us aren't seeing very strong wind, I am getting reports of some wind damage. This out around Dale City, where a large tree is down, falling through the intersection there, down on power lines. We also have a report around the Woodrow Wilson Bridge right now. Duke Street at Dagnifer Road is closed due to high water. Multiple vehicles are stuck in the high water. Water rescues are ongoing right now. So a lot of water rescues. We also have around the Barcroft area another flash flood event ongoing with South Greenbrier Street closed due to water flowing across the road. And this storm was so intense. Hail is unlikely tonight, but we do have some hail video. This coming out of Alexandria. This is one of the locations that I think is the hardest hit between the rainfall rates out there, the amount of rain that's falling, now the hail and the potential for some wind damage as well. You can see some small hail falling in parts of Alexandria there. But again, the big thing that we're hearing from emergency management coming out of Alexandria is the rain, is the flash flooding that is ongoing there, with the flash flood warning in effect through 7:45, 8 o'clock tonight. As we head back to the maps, we have a heavy downpour over the National Weather Service out in Sterling. We have the heaviest rain area-wide now falling from Prince George's County into Anne Arundel County, down through parts of Calvert County. This is starting to cross over the bay right now. Parts of Upper Marlboro, Laurel, into parts of Anne Arundel County, approaching Annapolis, starting to see some heavy rain. Bowie continuing to see some heavy rain down through the Calvert Beach area. We have another flash flood warning in effect for southern St. Mary's County. This is going to go until 8 o'clock tonight, with the entire area, the D.C. and Baltimore metro areas, I should say, under a flash flood watch through the late evening hours until very early tomorrow morning. So the biggest concern tonight is going to be heavy rain with downpours in spots. A tornado is possible. But again, looking at radar here, I think we're going to get a break for the most part. Some downpours here and there, but I think this first wave is going to have the biggest impact on our evening. We could still see some heavy downpours, some heavy rain in spots, but I think the most activity has happened. It's now moving off towards our east. That being said, we could still have some downpours through the overnight hours. Here's a look at the bigger picture here on Storm Team 4 radar. Again, with that line of thunderstorms now just starting to pass over the bay, you can see, looking back to the west, there's not much on the map, but we're in an environment where we could see some stuff bubble up. We then get a break tomorrow morning. Okay. We'll have some more storms tomorrow afternoon. And I'm not seeing as big of a severe weather threat for those storms tomorrow afternoon.
Nothing like today.
That's
no,
good.
Definitely
yeah,
not.
That is good. All right.
Good stuff.
Thanks, Amelia.
Sure, thanks.
We're right back after a break.
Here's how News 4 Today is working for you.
I'm watching Channel 4 News, which I love. and I heard them talking about this event.
Free advice and services will be available for some small business owners.
We are focused on entrepreneurs in Prince George's County.
I'm a Prince George's County resident, and I'm someone who's thirsty for my own business.
This is the kind of assistance that can help make the difference.
They're opening up small businesses at record rates.
Yes, because of help like that.
Check out how News 4 Today is working for you tomorrow morning.
We are all connected.
Discover Echo from Cirque du Soleil, September 6th to October 22nd, under the Big Top at Tyson's 2. Tickets at CirqueDuSoleil.com.
The world is yours to create.
Echo thanks its official partner, Air Canada.
Toyota's national sales event is on. Make the most of summer with a new Toyota.
We want the gray Tacoma.
Gray Tacoma coming in hot.
On it! Highlander Hybrid.
Highlander Hybrid on the double hang.
Here we go. That red RAV4.
Run a red RAV4.
Hit the deck.
Now that's how you holler.
Buy a sporty all-wheel drive or front-wheel drive Camry and get as low as 3.99% APR. Or pick a stylish Corolla sedan or hatchback.
Come in today.
Toyota, let's go places.
When we started this company, we had to look deep and find what is most important: our customers, our co-workers, and our community. We built a reputation based on a strong work ethic and friendly, highly trained technicians who take pride in their work, providing a level of service that you just don't see anymore. Since 1979, Crop Metcalf has been home of the 5-star technician. So right now, call or go online and see what real customer service means.
Every business deserves a great deal. That's why Comcast Business is launching the Mobile Made Free event. With our business internet, new and existing customers can get 1 year of unlimited mobile for free. It's our best internet, powered by the next generation 10G network, and with 99.9% reliability. Plus 1 line of free mobile for an entire year. It's the Mobile Made Free event happening now.
Get started for just $49 a month. Plus, ask how to get 1 free line of unlimited mobile. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Your roof is the first line of defense against, well, everything. A Shanko roof has a purpose-built shingle to protect the vulnerable edge. Your roof stays dry, and everything else stays put. Visit GoShanko.com and save $1,000 on your new roof.
We are in weather alert mode right now as storms cause flash flooding all across the region. All of this happening during the evening rush hour, too.
Yeah, let's get right to News 4's Erica Gonzalez at the live desk. Erica, I understand you've got some new video that shows how bad it is out there.
Yeah, hi, guys. We've got some video that's coming in from Arlington of the scene there. It's at Columbia Pike and Greenbrier in Arlington. This is just before Bailey's Crossroads. So we're going to show you some of this video here. And in both directions, look how high the water is, and the cars are continuing to go through it. And as the video advances, look how far on the left side of your screen, how high up, I should say, the water comes on that first car there. And as this video continues to play out, at some point in time here, you're going to see there's even a Metro bus right there, bottom right-hand corner of your screen, that goes through this as well. So Amelia's talked about this repeatedly. When you see standing water like that, please turn around, don't drown. You do not know how high those waters are. We've got a similar situation that's happening in Northeast DC in the Bloomingdale neighborhood. We have a crew that's headed in that direction, and there we're told that there are people that are stranded. They are standing on top of their cars. This is an area that we know is prone to flooding, but it's still a very dangerous situation. So as soon as we get folks there on the ground, give us some pictures, then we will be back with you. But this is the case in Arlington, so please be careful when you see standing water like that. Do not take the chance to go through it and turn around in the opposite direction. From the live desk, I'm Erica Gonzalez. Guys?
Erica, thank you. I was just looking at some information here from D.C. Homeland Security. Real quick, Amelia, they're saying 6 inches of fast-moving floodwater can knock an adult over. 12 inches can carry away most cars. So, I mean, this speaks to everything you've been saying.
Yeah, and one important thing to keep in mind, too, is you might say, okay, I've traveled this road. I don't think the water's that deep. Well, you never know if the road has gotten washed out, so the road is potentially deeper than you're accustomed to. We always say it's kind of jingly and catchy, and maybe you just hear it, but this is really one of those situations where you need to turn around, don't drown, at least don't ruin your car over just trying to make it through some floodwaters. Wait it out until you can safely make it through, because we are getting numerous reports of water rescues ongoing, especially into parts of Northern Virginia right now. But as you heard Erica say, it's not just confined to Northern Virginia, into parts of the district too. So Storm Team 4 radar still has heavy rain out around Bowie into parts of Anne Arundel County. Annapolis starting to see that heavy rain. This is crossing over the bay right now, heading toward Easton and Cambridge. We're still, though, seeing showers up into parts of Frederick and Hagerstown, back around the airport into parts of Reston and Herndon, down through Prince William and Fauquier counties. But again, the heaviest rain right now from Bowie, I should say just south of Baltimore, through Bowie and Annapolis, down toward the Calvert Beach area. We have flash flood warnings for the areas here in Burgundy. That includes parts of Prince William, Fairfax, the city of Fairfax, Arlington, Alexandria, the district, into parts of Prince George's County and St. Mary's County. These go until about 8 o'clock. We have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 5:30 for parts of Prince George's County, including Bowie. And we have numerous storm reports coming in right now. In fact, I'm just seeing a new one pop up there. But all of these are in regards to water, to flash flooding. We have water at least 2 feet deep into parts of the Ravensworth area. Then you head to Duke Street at Dagner Field Road, which is closed due to high water. We're getting reports of multiple vehicles stuck there in the high water. Water rescues are ongoing. The Barcroft area, you have a street closed due to water flowing across the road. And you just saw it pop up just in a moment ago. I'm guessing this is the balloon. Oh, this is going to be for a tree down. And look, you can just see the storm reports populating as I'm on here, and we're going to continue to see the damage reports coming in, whether it be the tree here, so wind damage, or whether it be the water here due to flash flooding. And flooding with heavy rain is the biggest concern out there tonight. Tomorrow we'll have some scattered showers and thunderstorms later in the day with a high of 88. And then after that, the next 10 days looking quiet. Saturday and Sunday, I want to mention those are looking like really nice days. But again, very serious situation continues out there on this Monday evening. Another stormy, rainy night on another Monday afternoon and evening across the D.C. metro area. Sean and Leon.
Ugly way to start the work week.
Yes.
All right.
Thanks, Amelia. New details in the case of a man who was scalded in the shower at a local jail.
Coming up, why his father says this incident is just the tip of the iceberg. Then,
we have to keep our word. We have to keep our promise.
American allies in Afghanistan are calling on the U.S. to keep its promise to thousands of refugees. The pressure on Congress nearly 2 years after American forces left Afghanistan.
and a live look now outside this evening as we continue to monitor the severe weather in the region. Many of us under a flood watch lasting into the early morning hours. Storm Team 4 meteorologist Amelia Draper is tracking all of it for you coming up after the break.
Class, old ill-fitting windows can make your energy bill hard to deal with. But Window Nation windows are designed to be energy efficient. I'm good. And now save 50% off any style of window. Window Nation, the perfect fit.
Introducing Astound Mobile. We have plans that fit you. Pay by the gig or go unlimited on one of the nation's largest, most reliable 5G networks. Switch today and get mobile with our award-winning internet for as low as $40 a month. We are Astound.
There's never been a better time to get away. With a great deal on the Hyundai you've always wanted. With America's best warranty and up to 3 years complimentary maintenance. It's your journey. Own every mile at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Now's the time to get in and get away. Get 3.29% APR or up to $2,500 bonus cash on the Santa Fe or lease for $269 a month. Visit buyhyundai.com today.
At California Closets, we believe every space, large or small, deserves a custom solution. Great design comes from listening, collaborating, and problem solving.
We had the most wonderful experience. Our designer was outstanding to work with. She listened to our vision and also respected our budget.
Because the spaces we design create more room in the place you call home. That's what we call practical magic. Start your California Closets experience with a free design consultation.
You make me smile like the sun, fall out of bed, sing like a bird, dizzy in my head, spin like a record, crazy on a Sunday night. You make me dance like a fool, forget how to Just the thought of you can drive me wild. Oh, you make me smile.
If I could describe Greenberg and Betterman with one word, it would be perfect. And I say perfect because there's not a lot of law firms that would go that far.
Greenberg and Betterman. Contact us. Feel better.
Class, old ill-fitting windows can make your energy bill hard to deal with. But Window Nation windows are designed to be energy efficient. I'm good. And now save 50% off any style of window. Window Nation, the perfect fit.
You're watching News 4 at 5.
We continue to send our reporters out to give us on-the-ground updates on the conditions out there with all this weather coming through. And this is a scene we were seeing now on Rhode Island Avenue Northeast where water rescues are underway.
I mean, it is incredible. This underpass frequently floods like this, but you can see the crew out there right now. We were hearing reports that people were stranded on top of their cars. You can see one of the cars underneath that the overpass right there. It looks like, I don't know if they've rescued the person already, or it looks like they're still going around. Maybe they've already completed the rescue, but I mean, it's just incredible because we've seen the water come in so fast, just as Amelia said, with these flash floods going on.
And now we're getting a good idea of how deep that water is as you see the rescue crew there getting out of the boat, and you can see it's almost waist high there at this particular point on the road.
I mean, just incredible when you think about this. It's only been raining for what, an hour? It's been raining for about an hour out there, and just to see this, is that a, we're trying to determine here, is that like a building or the side of, oh, that's a building.
It's a building.
Okay, wow.
Walked up to, and you saw him testing the ground with the oar that he used from the boat to make sure that the ground underneath was still sturdy enough to support them. I'm wondering now if there were people inside that building who called for help or called for some sort of assistance. We'll have to keep our eye on that scene. We didn't see anyone come out of the cars that were there on the road.
This is, the building is called District Dogs?
Oh, this is District Dogs.
Okay, all right.
The hot dog shop.
Okay.
Yeah, so apparently at this hour, that's right. We did see the flooding. Remember the video that we had last year?
The pets inside. This is an animal.
But it was a hot dog stand.
Hot dogs,
and they had the glass window that you could see the water rising up against it and flowing down that road there. So this is that same area, obviously prone to flooding.
They say they called for help. I know they were calling on the city to do something to fix this or alleviate this problem so it did not happen again. And it looks like once again their business is flooded.
But
okay, so yes, it's a doggy
daycare.
I remember seeing the pictures of the animals inside.
Gotcha.
There was a concern because they had to move some of them out.
That's right.
But just incredible to see how quickly. Of course, there are a lot of bystanders watching to see, but that is a strip of businesses right there, and you know it's unfortunate to see this affecting businesses, the cars, and people having to go through this all over again.
Yeah, and here's hoping that the people and pets that may be inside there are okay. We haven't seen the door open. We haven't seen anyone go in or out of that building. As in the last few minutes or so. It looks like he's checking the doors there.
Yeah, we can see they've got some sandbags up, knowing that this area has flooded before, I'm sure in an attempt to keep the water out. And let's hope for their sake they were able to keep the water out with those sandbags there.
Yeah, and there's also hoping that the people who were in the cars there on that stretch of Rhode Island Avenue were able to get to safety themselves. As we always say, Amelia, you know, turn around, don't drown when you see waters like that piling up. It looks like the water isn't necessarily flowing very fast or very quickly, so that could be something working in their favor. But it's an awful lot of water, and this is a spot that is prone to have this flooding. Seems like every year we're looking at flooding happening in a spot like this.
And Amelia, I know that you've talked about this before, that when we get this kind of water flowing in so quickly, that the storm drains just can't handle the water, so it will just start to pile up or just get stuck.
You get a flash
there.
flood, right?
Yes.
Exactly like what we're seeing. So, you know, looking at this imagery, I mean, this is kind of like the perfect storm of what happened. This is a low-lying area. This is an urban area. So both of those are going to have poor drainage. The water goes into the low-lying area. The water is flowing and falling so fast that the drains just can't keep up. I think you can see the water.
Right there,
yeah, the water is going down the drains. But even looking at the pylons there, the orange pylons on the right, I mean, you can see how high they are, right? There's about, you know, alternates between white and orange about 6 times. And when we were looking over a little bit more to the right, you could see that water was almost at the top of those pylons. So this water, it even looks like, just being on this live scene, has receded a little bit based on where it's coming up to on the rescuers and the first responders there.
It looks like the barrier there in front was put there to protect them from flooding. And if you look, there are sandbags that were at the front of that, and those sandbags are, you know, soaking wet. But that looks like what that orange barrier was there to do, is to prevent the flooding. But we can see where they have pushed open that little part of that business right there. You can see there was water inside on the floor once again.
Yeah, it appears they're communicating with someone there inside, and that water that seems to be bubbling up there could be possibly getting pumped out from inside that building. But the water is actually deeper on the farther end of that building, because when I saw the firefighter step out of the boat, the water actually went up to almost his belt.
Right.
And look at, too, Sean and Leon, our photographer there, look at the front of your screen where it's all that dirt there.
Yeah.
So that at one point was water too, right? The water was there, and that's already receded. So, I mean, this water had to be extremely deep. Even I mentioned the pylons. You can see the water's kind of gone down there in the background there. It looks like there's a black car maybe under the bridge that got stranded there as well. So, yeah, very, very unfortunate situation here on Rhode Island Avenue in Northeast DC.
And Amelia, where are we storm-wise? Because we don't see rain coming down here anymore.
Right.
Is the most of it?
Yes.
You know, okay.
That's the good news. Most of it, the most action that we're going to get is now off to our east. That being said, we could still see some downpours here or there tonight. So this flood threat concern is going to continue through the overnight hours in an abundance of caution from the National Weather Service. We have a flood watch in effect for the entire D.C., Baltimore metro areas through very late tonight. We have ongoing flash flood warnings through parts of Prince William, Fairfax counties, through the district, into parts of Prince George's County, and down into St. Mary's County in southern Maryland as well. The warnings, this is where we're seeing flash flooding happen. These warnings are going to go until 8 p.m. They could be canceled earlier, but they're going until at least 8 o'clock tonight. So bottom line, if you're under a flash flood warning, you want to avoid travel until that warning either expires or is canceled from the National Weather Service. Not only in Northeast D.C. are we hearing of some very serious water rescues going on, but into parts of Springfield and Alexandria as well. Sean, talking about the rain where we stand right now. Notice the heavy rain, the brightest colors right now into Anne Arundel County and over the bay, moving toward the Cambridge and Easton areas. Some intense rain falling over Annapolis. Some downpour action into parts of eastern Loudoun County, out around Sterling. But again, the heaviest rain, thankfully, is now moving out of the area as we continue to track flash flood warnings through the evening hours. No severe thunderstorm warnings are currently in effect, but now this goes from tracking what's on the radar to talking about what happened from these storms. And you can see water a few inches deep over the intersection of Route 7 and Dagner Field Road. We have another report coming in of water rescues ongoing into parts of Virginia, into the Barcroft area. So heavy rainfall still a possibility in spots tonight. But again, we're really following kind of what happened with this first round, all of the ongoing water rescues out there, Sean and Leon.
Okay, let's get right out to those water rescues, Amelia. We're looking at one that's in the district happening along Rhode Island Avenue in Northeast.
News 4's Walter Morris is there live on the scene. So Walter, what's happening where you are?
Well, as you've been following, right now, firefighters with DC Fire are now trying to make entry to this business district, dogs, here on Rhode Island. As you mentioned, this area has been notorious for flooding, and just as we've been standing by, you saw the live pictures earlier, but we've watched as firefighters have sort of been making their way in through the glass barrier. Now, if you cross the street here, you can see this is a lot of moving parts here, but you can see staff here now trying to assess the situation. We know there's a lot of water inside that business. Not exactly sure the status of the dogs inside. It seems like, from what I've been able to briefly speak with the staff here, they say they have sort of been able to move some, but very, very tense moments as they deal with this flooding. You mentioned before we came out here live, the rain just so intense that it moved so fast that there really wasn't much time. If we pan over here, you can see this blue car. Just since we've been standing here, when we arrived, that water up over near towards the top of the roof, it has since come down. We've watched as the water has slowly drained, but very, very intense situation out here. we also watched as firefighters rescued 2 people from a car just on the other side of the road here. But now we are watching as members of this community really just try and pick up the pieces, clean up, and assess the damage inside. Jim, or Sean, Leon?
It is incredible to see, Walter. I'm imagining everybody that's involved there at District Dogs is trying to make sure the animals are okay, but they must be frustrated because they went through this just a few months ago.
Yes, that's right. And in fact, if you walk with me across the street here, you can see just a little bit about what they're dealing with. Of course, we don't want to make the situation worse and insert ourselves, but if you just look here through the window, you can see just all of the water that they're dealing with and how difficult this is. Right there, you can see a firefighter sort of pushing his way through that drywall.
Oh, yeah.
And it looks like about shin-deep water in that business. Now, this is just what we can see from the sidewalk out here, so you can only imagine what it's like inside. Of course, they'll have to wait to make sure it is safe for those folks to get inside, but as you can see, just a lot of people standing by really in disbelief, waiting to get the go-ahead to get inside.
Well, the good thing is that the water seems to be receding rather quickly. We were looking at live pictures there just about 10 minutes ago. If not even that long ago. The water was waist deep in that area. Now you can actually see more pavement and people are actually walking around on drier ground, and hopefully that will allow the water inside that building to get out more quickly as well.
Absolutely. Walter Morris, thank you. Keep us updated as they get in there and they get to see how the animals inside are doing. We certainly appreciate it.
All right, that area in Northeast, not the only part of our district, part of our region right now dealing with flooding like that. We're looking at a number of areas. We'll take you out to the latest ones, the latest images we have coming from some of the flooded areas out there right after this break. You're looking here at Holmes Run in Alexandria. You can see the water there very high and moving very quickly.
Any painter can paint, but only CertaPro painters come with power. The power of a team who knows what they're doing. The power of dialing up the wow factor to 11. The power of living where you live and liking the same coffee shop you do. The power of being the talk of the cul-de-sac or the office park. If you want certainty, you want CertaPro painters. The power of pro. Start your project at CertaPro.com.
NBC4 and Telemundo 44 want you to help clear the shelters.
You will never get this kind of love any other way.
Clear the shelters. Adopt and donate today. Sponsored by your local Honda dealers.
I started Mas Panadas about 7 years ago as a small catering company. But quickly we realized there was a real business opportunity in frozen foods. So we pivoted to that, and nowadays we are building an empanada empire. M&T has supported us with everything we need. They actually come to my plants. They understand what we do. They know my team. I am a mom, and this business was created for other moms with busy families. Together with M&T, we can take over the world one empanada at a time.
At National Florist Direct, get 1 room of genuine Mohawk hardwood flooring installed for just $9.99. The floor you've always wanted for just $9.99, with no interest for a full year. Call National Florist Direct at 888-400-FLOOR. We bring the store to your door.
It just keeps getting worse. The crack keeps growing. The doors and windows stick.
This must be very frustrating. Almost no one connects that these are telltale signs that water is shifting your foundation. But it's okay. We got it.
Oh, this is done growing in this house.
Okay.
The effects of water can be surprising. But at JES, we'll do a complete home inspection for free. So you can put water back in its place. Schedule a free home inspection today.
We're back now with live pictures here in Northeast D.C. of the flooding. This is District Dogs. This is an animal kennel. You can see firefighters and rescue crews have made their way through the front of the building. They went through the drywall here. That water looks like, what is that, almost knee-deep in the water on one portion of this building?
Inside the building.
Yeah, no doubt there was a concern because dogs are in kennels there, so they're trying to make sure, we're assuming here, they're trying to make sure that the animals inside are okay.
Now that is an interior wall inside the building. We actually have a camera set up and shooting through a window from the sidewalk, and that's what we're looking at happening inside the building. And what we saw outside the building was water that at one point was waist deep. and had obviously flowed over the sandbags that they had set up outside the doors of this building to keep the water out. But they're now going inside. We presume they're going inside and looking for any people or pets that may still be in there.
If we saw earlier when we were looking at the drywall, if you could see the marks there on the line and what appears to be the front desk, you could see how high the water may have been at one point inside this building. This same building was flooded out a few months ago. I do remember some of the employees or the owners were frustrated and were hoping that the city would be able to come in and do something with the infrastructure. Wow, look at the water inside. You can see all the things that are floating around. This has to be really, really frustrating and heartbreaking for the people who work here and the people who have their animals there.
Absolutely, especially since they've had to live through this more than once before. And again, they're begging for help from the city, which obviously did not address the issue with the flooding on the road.
Do you see the line there on the window? It looks like a water line. Do you see that, like what's going through almost the middle of your screen there? It looks like where the water level may have come up to either this time or before. There's a line that runs across the glass that we're looking at right now. I wonder if this is how high this water was today or if this was the previous time that it flooded.
Well,
that is incredible.
Maybe if Walter Morris, who's positioned outside that building, if he's able to get a hold of one of the owners, we can actually get an update from them on that and see exactly what it was like last time and this time around and compare the two. But this has got to be heartbreaking for someone to have, for people to have, and pet owners and the proprietors there to have to go through this again.
We saw some of the what appear to be the workers outside. Certainly, if they're outside, they're waiting to see what the rescue crews are finding as they're going inside there. But wow, this is just incredible that once again they are dealing with this.
And before they got inside to effect this rescue from the inside, there was also a water rescue on the outside. We saw at least one vehicle that had been completely swamped by the water and had been turned around and was actually juxtaposed across the road. We hope that the person who was inside that car is okay now, but there was a rescue, at least one vehicle outside that we saw. The water on this road here at one point was well above those sandbags and those barriers that you see there. We saw in fact, the fire and rescue personnel used a pontoon boat to actually motor their way all the way up to the building.
Yes, it is good to see the water receding. You can see the mud all over the street there. Just to give you a little more about District Dogs, they have a doggy daycare, they do doggy boarding, they've got, dog training and a spa. So I'm certain that, people who had pets that were there are there wondering, how their pets are doing, and the employees are wondering. You can see people outside looking in to figure out what's going on. It's got to be a very frustrating situation for all of them. But as you said, there's Walter Morris. It looks like he is talking to some of the people who are there. Walter, what you got?
Well, so I'm standing by here with Jocelyn, one of the pet owners, now just trying to figure out where their animal is. So first of all, can you just take me back? When did you realize something was wrong, and what have you heard?
I haven't heard anything. I only noticed that something was wrong when I got here. I mean, I'm sure all of the employees are out, so they don't really have any updates for now.
And how long have you, well, we see right there, one dog being taken out. Not sure how many other animals are in there, but you can almost hear the audible gasps out here.
Absolutely.
A lot of very just worried pet owners. We see more dogs coming out. We see, I just saw 2 or 3 now. It looks like firefighters now coming out, bringing out some of those animals. No idea how many more are inside, but again, very, very tense, stressful moments for these pet owners. We can see police officers are now pushing us back here a little bit, but you can see these 2 dogs that have just been taken out. We see the owner of District Dogs now just trying to get a handle on this situation. Before we came live here, when we were speaking with Jocelyn, she said she was told the dogs had been moved, but again, as you can see, so much is going on out here. Not really a lot of time to sort of get answers, but just very, very worried pet owners out here as they just watch and wait to see what's going on. But at least it looks like these guys are getting out safe, and hopefully all of the other animals will be out soon.
I hope so. I mean, we're watching. This is, I can't imagine being a dog mom. That guy right there on the right, he looks like he was clearly wet inside. I know that the pet owners who are there are breathing a sigh of relief as they're seeing their animals come out, and I just hope that every animal is safe and everybody, look, oh gosh,
but they've also got to be absolutely terrified.
Absolutely.
Because you saw how deep that water was. If any of these dogs or any of the other animals had been in a kennel that's on the ground,
right,
and not elevated inside this building, they could be in real distress. There could be some really, really bad outcomes there. So there's no way that obviously they didn't get all of the dogs out, because we're seeing them being rescued right now. It'd be good to find out exactly how many are still in there and you know, what kind of conditions they're going to be found in.
Thank goodness that the crews were able to get inside, push their way through that interior wall to the area where the dogs were apparently being housed or boarded. And it is wonderful to see them coming out right now. You can see families waiting right there. There looks like there's a little girl and her dad, more pet owners that are just standing there waiting, hoping that their animals will come out soon.
It's got to be a really emotional time for them.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, dogs are an extension of the family. You know, they are, you know, the people that smile and greet you when no one else does when you come home. When your teenage kids don't have anything for you, the dogs come and love you.
Exactly. So we'll keep our fingers crossed.
Yeah, we're going to go back to that. I mean, and you see the dogs coming out. We just saw people are saying, "Is that my dog? Is that?" It's
heartbreaking to watch that and see that.
Yeah.
So it did look like the water had receded though.
Very quickly, and this is what happens with flash flooding. You know, it falls in a flash and then it can kind of dissipate as quickly as it came. The good news is the strongest of the storms, they're across the bay. So they're out of our area, but now they're moving toward our local beaches, through Easton, through Cambridge. So, you know, if you know somebody out that way, you kind of want to keep them in mind because they're still producing very heavy rainfall. So I want to kind of reset. We're actually going to go back to the doggy daycare because we have some new information coming in, right?
Okay. Walter? Oh, okay. So
I can tell, I saw that man there. He has been, I think he might have had a few, I don't know if that's the owner. Do we know that that's
so the gentleman in the hat, I believe
Yeah.
we've actually interviewed him before, and he's talked about the infrastructure problem in that area and how it's affected the business.
And they got a dog, a larger sized dog out, and you could see the group of people that had gathered there kind of all ran to see, is this my dog? So, I mean, think about the time of day. You're getting home from work, obviously, and oh, here we have another doggy coming out.
And they're wet. I mean, you know, you can tell that they have been in water.
Well, they look traumatized.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I'm sure what they're trying to do is get blankets, get them inside a warm car or something. You can see them shaking off as soon as they're coming out of there. Oh, I know it's got to be very frustrating for the people who are there, those watching on TV just like us right now as this is happening. And employees who are trying to handle this as best they can.
At the risk of overreading things, I'm looking at the pace at which the rescue operation is moving. It doesn't appear that they're actually under any real urgency right now at this particular point. So perhaps the animals that they found inside are in areas inside the building that are safe at least, and they know they'll be able to get them all out of there.
That's what one would hope. And so now it kind of all makes sense where we went to this image in the beginning, and they had kind of like pushed open a window and they were trying to talk to somebody to get through. Clearly, look at that. How sweet is that? How heartwarming.
A little Frenchy.
And I'm going to guess that the dogs are coming like we thought out of their kennels, because many of them don't have on their collars right now, and they're just trying to get them out of that area as quickly as they possibly can. Oh boy. This is District Dogs. This is happening right now near Rhode Island Avenue in Northeast DC. This is a facility that has a doggy daycare, dog training, dog boarding, anything that has to do with dogs right along 680 Rhode Island Avenue in Northeast DC. Just a sigh of relief, I'm sure, for many of the people who work here and many of the owners who are standing there waiting to see their pets come out.
For me, it feels like I can imagine how they feel, because it would be like getting a call or notice at your school. Your kid's school is flooded.
Absolutely.
And you would go there and you would do exactly what these folks here are doing. You'd go there and you would sit there and you would wait until every child comes out of the building.
Absolutely. I'm feeling for the lady here in the blue, because every time a dog comes out, she kind of just looks, I mean, you know, she's
your heart start to race,
oh my goodness.
And also telling, if you saw that man was in his bare feet, I assume he took off his shoes because of how flooded, you know.
His shoes are probably soaked, because he's probably been,
to try to get around more easily.
My goodness, just to watch all of this unfold, you just have to feel for the families who are watching and waiting, and hopefully all of the dogs that were inside today are safe. That is what we're hoping
And like what you said, that your dog is your companion. It's like, I'm sure these people dropping off their dogs to go into work, you know, it's like, I can't wait till I come and pick you up. You know, it's just something that you don't really ever expect is going to happen when you're picking your dog up from doggy daycare, that flash flooding has, you know, trapped your dog inside their second home.
Absolutely. If you are just joining, oh my goodness, look at the little guy, he's drenched. Oh my goodness. If you are just joining us right now, we've had severe weather, which you probably know about. We saw flooding that was up to and inside of this building, and we've been watching DC Fire and EMS rescue crews go into the district dogs here and push their way through an interior wall, through the drywall, to get through this other area, and they are now bringing dogs out that were either there being boarded or were in daycare there, and you can see the dogs, they're soaking wet. So that is clear indication that they were wet.
And that man that just picked up that dog, that beagle there, that's the owner. Jacob Hensley is his name, and I mean, you have to feel for him, because this is the second time that this has happened there. And you know, I mean, to own a doggy daycare, you have to have a love of dogs that is, you know, more so than other people. So to go through this again, I mean, it's heartbreaking. The good news is we're seeing all these dogs coming out, being reunited with their owners.
I hope they got plenty of warning, because it apparently that water came up very, very quickly. And I'm marveling still at how quickly it dissipated. And we, at one point, we were watching these rescuers come up there. They rowed a pontoon boat up to the door, and they got out of the boat, and the water was nearly belt high.
Right.
And now it's all gone.
I am looking back, and I found this August 11th, News 4 was there reporting on another flooding situation where this happened. There was severe flooding in this area, and this when the owner that you were just talking about talked to us about his frustration with the flooding. And I'm wondering, that the orange barrier we see up there in front, I believe they may have put that up after that flooding incident happened to try and keep the water out. But clearly they also had sandbags. It did not keep that water from going in there.
Well, you made a really good point, Sean, of the water line. I noticed it looks like their emblem kind of there on the door is like the shape of the district with a dog cut out. And it was a larger emblem. So you'd think that's going to be at about eye height. Oh my gosh.
Look at those little guys coming out. They're
so
all
the water had to be
wet.
Very high.
Absolutely. When we were looking at the window on the outside, or it was an interior window, look at the wall right there. Look at the dirt on the wall. That's what we were saying. Look at that. Oh, my goodness. I'm sorry, guys. Are we going to break? Okay.
We're going to break. The good news, Sean, is this severe weather, it's moving out. But again, we're going to continue to follow this story very closely for News 4 at 6.
We'll be right back.
Sponsored by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
WTOP reports the safest cars of the year have plenty of new features to keep your family protected.
We're tracking a big storm expected to hit much of the Virginia suburbs later this afternoon.
Expect some slowdowns approaching the American Legion Bridge this morning.
Washington area kids' screen time is way up. We've got tips for how parents can get them playing outside.
President Biden and Republican lawmakers announced they're making progress on a potential compromise.
I heard it on WTOP News, 103.5 FM.
Save even more at Giant when you stack your savings. Bonus buys, digital coupons, and flexible rewards. Sign up for free and start earning points today. More savings for you, only at Giant.
First wash since I bought it.
Still can't believe this thing is yours.
No. Navy Federal Credit Union gave me such an affordable car loan, the rest was easy. I mean, I can't imagine where I'd be without them.
check the windows. Good idea.
Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission.
At California Closets, we believe every space deserves a custom solution.
From the consultation to the final installation, every detail was buttoned up and very professional.
That's what we call practical magic. Request a free design consultation.
Shift into Easy Drive at Sheehy and find the perfect used car. With 30 locations, shop the Mid-Atlantic's largest selection of certified select and value cars. Plus, get up to 125% of KBB value when you sell or trade in. Get more quality used cars in your area and get one easy price. You'll also get our 5-day money-back guarantee. Buy in-store or online and shift into Easy Drive today.
It's easy at Sheehy. Sheehy.com.
With Giant Pickup and Delivery, you can shop for all the great local products you love, handpicked and packed by our associates. Just for you. All from the comfort of your couch.
News 4 begins with a storm team.
We begin tonight at 6 with ongoing weather warnings on this busy Monday evening. Hi, everyone. Welcome to News 4 at 6. I'm Un Yang.
I'm Sean Yancey. If you were safe at home this evening, stay there. Right now, we are tracking multiple water rescues after hours of downpours that still aren't over. This scene right here happened within the last half hour. Looks like a river out there, but this is actually northeast D.C.
Our entire metro area is still under a flood watch right now. This view from Arlington, where traffic cameras captured a number of cars driving through standing water. This is near Bailey's Crossroads. This is a very dangerous thing to do. We want to remind you again, do not drive through high standing water. Turn around, don't drown. During the past 2 hours, we've been tracking tornado warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings. This system has hit us with relentless rain across the region. The worst of the storms have moved out of our area, but you can see we are not in the clear just yet.
All right, let's check in now with Amelia Draper. She's going to continue to give us the very latest on what have been continuous storms. Amelia, you said the worst of it is over now?
Yeah, the good news is the heaviest rain has crossed the bay, Sean and Un, and we're still tracking some light showers here in the D.C. metro area, but the heaviest rain has moved out. So I wanted to take you to Storm Team 4 radar and show you what I'm tracking right now. Again, some light showers into parts of the D.C. metro area, back into parts of northern Virginia, also down through parts of southern Maryland. But this is the activity that caused the flash flooding just an hour or so ago. That's now over the bay, impacting the eastern shore. That being said, still some heavy rain up into parts of Carroll County and into parts of southern Montgomery County, out around the Potomac area, but Cambridge, Easton, areas farther to the north seeing the heaviest rain. That being said, I could still see a few downpours out there tonight, even into the overnight hours. So while I'm just tracking some light rain across most of the area in spots right now, we could still see some heavier rain out there later tonight. That is why we have a flash flood watch for the D.C. and Baltimore metro areas that goes through the overnight hours. This goes until 2 a.m. on your Tuesday. The areas in Burgundy, that includes parts of Prince William, Fairfax, Arlington, Alexandria, the district, and parts of St. Mary's County are under a flash flood warning through about 8 o'clock tonight. If you are under a flash flood warning and you can, please avoid travel until the National Weather Service either lets the flash flood warning expire. Again, that would be around 8 o'clock, or cancels it a little bit earlier. You can download our NBC Washington app to get the latest. But here's a look at all of the storm reports coming in, and the bulk of the storm damage from the district and then down through Fairfax and Prince William counties. A lot of this is flooding reports, but we're also seeing some wind damage reports as well. Reagan National reported a wind gust of about 60 miles an hour. So each one of these circles is going to be a storm report from the storms we had out there tonight. In fact, at Reagan National, we have high water there blocking areas near the Pentagon. If you drive around that area, you're very familiar with this location. This was reported at 4:51. Another storm report at the Woodrow Wilson Bridge, where we had water rescues going on. So many of these reports are about water rescues, including one at Barcroft, where a street was closed due to water flowing across the road. So again, Sean and An, the heaviest rain is over for now, but heading into the overnight hours, we could have another wave or at least some additional downpours in spots. But right now, we've kind of gone from tracking the storms moving through the area to talking about the mess that they have left behind. So I'll have much more in the forecast coming up a little bit later in the hour.
All right, Amelia Draper, thanks so much for that update.
Our team coverage continues now. News 4's Walter Morris is live in Northeast D.C. along Rhode Island Avenue in front of a doggy daycare that was flooded once again. Walter, we know you've been watching as these dogs have come out. What else have you learned?
Well, so yeah, over the past 10, 15 minutes or so, we've watched one by one as these wet dogs have been rescued from district dogs here on Rhode Island. Now, just to give you a little bit of perspective of just how high that water was when we arrived here just after 5:30, see that car, water up to about the roof. We watched as firefighters made their way into district dogs, forcing their way through the glass, and then we watched as those dramatic rescues unfolded. Now, if you pan over here just up to the left a little bit, you can see we still have some pet owners now waiting to find their dogs to get a little bit of news about what happened. Some very, very tense moments, and we do have some video from earlier. If we can toss to that, you can see what we were talking about. Really just audible gasps out here as we saw those first few dogs getting pulled out of the water. Now, again, we're not sure exactly how many are still inside or how many had to be rescued. I spoke to one pet owner who was waiting out here just a few moments ago. She said she was told that they had moved the dogs to the back in an elevated area, but then as we saw just over the past few minutes, that water making its way into the business. Of course, this area is notorious for flooding. We do have some video from last year with a similar flood in this location, just to see what it looked like inside. So understandably, some very scary, some very frustrating moments for this business owner as well as the pet owners here, because as we've been talking about for the last half hour, you know, these pets are like family members, and a lot of times people bring their dogs to a business like this because they want them to be safe and to be taken care of throughout the day. So understandably, really just a nightmare situation for some of these pet owners. Now, again, we're not sure how many dogs are left inside. We have watched as a couple pet owners have been standing by here in tears. So just, you can see just over to the left here, some people really just tense moments, practically holding their breath as they wait and try and get a glimpse of their loved one. But of course, we will continue to stand by out here as we watch this unfold. We have tried to speak with the business owner. Of course, he is very busy at this point, but we will continue to follow the story as it develops.
Walter,
send it back to you in the studio.
Yeah, as dog owners, we both know how anxious the owners might be. Have all the animals been accounted for at this point?
To be honest, we don't know. As far as speaking with the business owner, we haven't been able to get into pull him aside because he's just been frantically running, trying to reunite some of these pets with their owners, as well as move the other ones to a safe location. Some of the pet owners that we have talked to out here, again, some of them were told that the dogs had been moved to an elevated area. But again, at this point, we just don't know how many animals are still inside. Since we've been out here, we've counted over a dozen that have been pulled from the water, but still no word on how many are still left inside.
Walter, I'm just curious. I know you talked to some of the pet owners, and we've been watching the woman who is behind you, and we've seen her face. When the pet owners you spoke with who were just standing there and waiting, what were they saying to you? Were they frustrated? Were they sad? What did they say?
I think it's a lot. There are a lot of emotions out here. We spoke to one, Jocelyn, as we watched those rescues start to unfold. She was just very tense, very confused, anxious, of course. Some of the other pet owners that have been reunited with their pets did not want to talk to us, as you can imagine.
Sure.
They were just very emotional, very relieved. But now these other pet owners here, we've just watched as they've sort of had these tense exchanges with staff members here. They're just trying to find answers. And so that's really what everybody, it's almost like pins and needles. You can really feel the tension out here as they just hope to get a glimpse of their pet. But again, over the last few minutes, we haven't seen as many rescues, but of course, the big question is just exactly how many animals are still inside.
Absolutely.
The pets are all reunited with their humans.
Absolutely. Walter Morris, thank you so much. Again, that's Northeast DC along Rhode Island Avenue. It is a pet facility that boards, does daycare, and we're just hoping all the dogs are safe. Walter, thank you.
We have more breaking news now. We want to go out to Bladensburg, where Darcy Spencer is on Upshur Street tonight.
Darcy, what is it like where you are?
Well, you know, the rain is pretty much over. We're just getting a little bit of drizzle, but the severe storm seems like it has moved out of this area. You know, we try to warn viewers about the treacherous conditions out here with these severe storms and about the potential for flooded roadways. That is what we're seeing right here behind me. Take a look. You can see that this car right here on Upshur Street, this is in Bladensburg in Prince George's County, and this is a prime example of flash flooding. This is an area known to flood in the past. This is somewhat of an industrial area, but there are also homes in this area as well. We understand that someone in the car was rescued. I ran into a man just a few minutes ago who told me that it was his mom who was in the car. She's 80 years old, and he was just very thankful to the fire department, he said, for rescuing her out of the car. He says that she was trying to get somewhere and came upon the flooded roadway and basically got stuck. He walked through the water. I saw him in his boots coming through this area. I was able to speak to him for a very short period of time. He said his mom is okay, and he just was so thankful for the fire department for being here and getting his 80-year-old mom to safety. What you're seeing right now, the car just basically there in the middle of the road with the hazard lights on, and I can tell you just the amount of time that I've been here in the last 10 to 15 minutes, we can see that the water is receding already. So when we talk about those flash floods, it comes in very quickly. It can overwhelm a roadway, and then it recedes pretty quickly as well many of those times. So that's when you want to be very careful and not take chances in coming through roads like this because of that potential for the flash flooding. Not knowing exactly how deep the water is, getting out there in the middle of it, then basically your car stalls and you get stuck. So positive ending here where the woman was rescued by the fire department. But as we've been showing you the images throughout Prince George's County, even earlier when we were driving to this area around the Beltway and around 50, very, very heavy rainfall, a lot of lightning, very difficult driving conditions when this storm was at its peak. And I'm not sure exactly what time this water rescue happened, but it could have been at the height of the storm. So I think the water was a lot higher than it is right now, and very scary for someone who was stuck in that car in the middle of the water. But thankful for the first responders who got out here, rescued her, got her to safety, and her son said he's taking her home tonight.
I'm glad that she is safe. I hope she is home and she is warm, and thank goodness for those first responders who were able to get her out safely. Darcy Spencer, thank you.
Such a big reminder that it doesn't take much water for a car to stall out. We just don't want to take those risks tonight. All of this flash flooding happening during the evening rush hour now.
Yeah, let's get right to Erica Gonzalez at the live desk. Erica, I understand you've got some incredible video that just shows just how bad the roads have been this evening.
Right, we saw it right at the top of the broadcast. We showed you a glimpse of it, but some of the most impressive and sort of jaw-dropping video that we've seen came about an hour ago from the Arlington area, Columbia Pike at Greenbrier, right here. This is just before the Bailey's Crossroads area, and you've got traffic flowing in either direction, regardless of how high that water is, and you can see it's going well over. It looks like that Prius there on the left-hand side of your screen. And then on the right, in just a moment, you're going to see a Metro bus pass from the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. Right there. We've talked about this numerous times. Amelia continues to mention this. When you see standing water like that, turn around, don't drown. You don't know whether maybe that's your daily commute and you know sort of what that road looks like. But as Amelia mentioned, you don't know if the road has given way because of the amount of water that's in that area. And you're still seeing, look at all those cars that are going there, regardless of how high the water is. So when you see standing water, please do not do this. Turn around, don't drown. Again, this is in the Arlington area, Columbia Pike at Greenbriers, where we were seeing that type of action. From the live desk, I'm Erica Gonzalez. Ladies, back over to you in the studio.
Erica, thank you. And we know first responders, every time we have flash flooding issues, they are very busy rescuing people from high-standing water from their vehicles.
Absolutely. So take that advice. Amelia, you said the worst of it is over.
Yeah, the worst of it is over. I'm tracking a few light showers moving through parts of the D.C. metro area, but the rest of the evening is going to be fairly quiet. But there is the potential overnight tonight for some pockets of heavier rain to move through. Now, that's not a guarantee to this forecast, but it is a possibility. So I want to pass that along. This rain today, the heavy rainfall, the downpours of the storms, all from a warm front lifting through the area that's giving way to a muggy and mild evening out there. The heaviest rain now over on the eastern shore. It's passed over the bay, but you can still see some scattered areas of rain out there, including around the Rockville area. Some light showers into parts of the D.C. metro area, but also some sun shining as well. Now, that being said, some good news to pass along. The National Weather Service has canceled the flash flood warning for parts of Prince William County. So now flash flood warnings are still in effect for parts of Fairfax, Alexandria, the district, into parts of Prince George's County and St. Mary's County. I'll have much more on the forecast coming up after the break.
NBC4 is getting you ready for school with the help of Apple Federal Credit Union.
Drop off new backpacks and school supplies at any of our Northern Virginia branches now through August 31st.
NBC4 and Apple Federal Credit Union, getting you ready for school.
Visit your local Volvo retailer to explore mild hybrid SUVs during the Summer Safely Savings event.
Explore endless design possibilities to find your personal style. Endless hardy siding colors, textures, and styles. It's possible with James Hardy.
Every business deserves a great deal. That's why Comcast Business is launching the Mobile Made Free event. With our business internet, new and existing customers can get 1 year of unlimited mobile for free. It's our best internet, powered by the next generation 10G network, and with 99.9% reliability. Plus 1 line of free mobile for an entire year. It's the Mobile Made Free event happening now.
Get started for just $49 a month. Plus, ask how to get 1 free line of unlimited mobile. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
NBC4 is getting you ready for school with the help of Apple Federal Credit Union.
Drop off new backpacks and school supplies at any of our Northern Virginia branches now through August 31st.
NBC4 and Apple Federal Credit Union, getting you ready for school.
The injury law firm Greenberg & Betterman hopes tomorrow's sunrise brings you a great new day.
Happening right now, we're tracking flash flooding in the district. Walter Morris is at the scene. He's water moved in fast around this doggy daycare northeast, forcing some crews to go in and try to save these dogs.
Walter, I know we've been watching the rescues all for the last 45 minutes or so. What is the latest? What have you learned?
So we're still waiting for an update. We just heard that the deputy fire chief is here, and we expect a briefing from DC Fire in the next few minutes just to give us more of a sort of breakdown on exactly the situation they encountered. But if you take a look here, just so we can sort of give you perspective about just how high that water was and how fast it moved. When we arrived here just after 5:30, water at the roof of that blue sedan, and we watched as firefighters on the boat forced their way in to district docks. Now, we do have some video from not too long ago, if we can go to that and just show you some of those tense moments out here. We watched after firefighters forced their way through the drywall inside the water, knee-high here at District Docks on Rhode Island Avenue, and then we watched one by one as staff as well as DC Fire personnel pulling out some of those dogs, some of them soaked. Now, at this time, we are still waiting for an update on exactly how many dogs were inside of this business. But of course, you know, this area notorious for flooding, and this same location we witnessed or we reported on a flood last year. So some of the pet owners that we've been talking to out here, a few of them we watched as they reunited with their pets, but some other ones now just sort of anxiously waiting, trying to find out where their dogs are. Now, back out here live, you can see police have since blocked off this intersection or this street. The street is blocked off to traffic, but police have since cordoned this area off, so we are sort of being kept away. But again, we've seen some very relieved pet owners as they've gotten to take their dogs home, but a handful out here still just waiting and hoping that they can get their furry loved one soon. Send it back to you in studio.
Walter, so I know that they are still waiting out there. I have a friend who's a firefighter who was telling me some of the information. When you were there earlier and our crews were able to go right up to that window, we saw firefighters, we saw part of the Swiftwater rescue team inside, and we understand what they were doing when they forced their way through that drywall. They were going to the kennel area where the dogs are to let the water recede so that the dogs did not drown. And that's why they broke through the wall there to sort of let the water out. And as we've been watching the dogs come out, we've seen the dogs were wet. So right now we still have no idea how high the water was inside there. Please let us know as soon as you hear more information about what's going on there on the scene, because I know there's a lot of anxious dog owners.
Right. And it looks like some of them aren't there by the police line, so I'm hoping that they were able to get inside, Walter, and maybe talk to some of the owners there.
Yeah, so we've watched as the owner has sort of been dealing with this situation, but just up, you can see, if we pan over here just a little bit, you can see behind this fire truck there's a U-Haul as well as another room where we have seen some of those dogs who were taken out, where they're sort of standing by, I guess, waiting for their owners. But again, a lot of people just out here trying to piece together exactly where their dog is and what is going on. But of course, we will continue and bring you an update as soon as we have one.
Thank you so much, Walter Morris, live for us in Northeast D.C. Thanks for staying on top of the story for us, Walter. All right, we want to get back to Storm Team 4. We want you to look at this time-lapse video from the National Harbor camera. It shows a sped-up view of the storm as it moved into our area this afternoon. It moved quickly with all that heavy rain coming down.
But the good news is, Amelia?
The good news is we're getting a break, but you know, it was so humid out there today. We had a warm front lifting through the area, so you have kind of a larger weather pattern. You have the moisture out there. We had a lot of ingredients that really allowed this flash flooding to happen in so many locations: Springfield, Alexandria, Northeast DC. I mean, just very, very serious weather event that unfolded so quickly this afternoon. But the good news is we are coming down.
Thank goodness.
Yes, but that being said, we're not out of the woods just yet. I could still see some heavy rain, some downpours in spots overnight tonight. We've had that now a handful of times this summer where heavy rain moves through overnight when we're asleep. If you're a light sleeper, it wakes you up. We get some flooding concerns, and that could be a possibility again tonight. Strong winds, I'm seeing a low end threat of that. I've actually lowered that. Hail continues to be unlikely. And while we did have 2 tornado warnings earlier this evening, I'm now seeing a very low risk that a tornado warning would be issued even overnight tonight. But obviously, we're going to continue to stay on top of the weather out there throughout the evening and overnight hours. The heaviest rain is now across the bay, impacting the eastern shore, but still a few scattered showers into parts of the D.C. metro area, into parts of Montgomery County, back through parts of Northern Virginia and Southern Maryland. But for the most part, things are quiet, certainly much quieter than they were a few hours ago, with a flash flood watch still in effect, though, for the D.C. and Baltimore metro areas through very late tonight. We have flash flood warnings still in effect down into St. Mary's County, around the Leonardtown area, into parts of Fairfax County, the city of Fairfax, Arlington, parts of Arlington, Alexandria, all of the district, into parts of Prince George's County remain under that flash flood warning. The National Weather Service will cancel these when they know that we're no longer, emergency management, I should say, is no longer dealing with water rescues or water has receded off of roadways. They've already canceled the flash flood warning for Prince William County. Here's a look at the bigger picture. So this was the event tonight that led to the flooding, to the flash flooding across the area, but still some rain back to our west. We're waiting for a cold front to move through, and that happens tomorrow. That's when the chance for rain actually subsides. So what to expect tonight? Mainly quiet out there throughout the remainder of the evening hours, but getting into the overnight hours, some heavy rain and downpours are possible. The ground already so saturated in so many locations that flooding could be a concern in spots, and it is just a muggy and mild night out there. Lows only in the upper 60s to mid 70s. Here's future weather, 8 o'clock tonight. Notice how the area is dry, but then we head on into the later evening and overnight hours. 10 o'clock, still looking at dry conditions across the area. But here we are, 11 p.m. midnight. News 4 at 11 is going on, tracking the potential for some heavy rain moving through 3 a.m. Notice the chance for some downpours to be moving through very late tonight. That's why we still have that flash flood watch in effect. The morning tomorrow, your Tuesday morning, dry. It's a quiet start. No issues with the weather getting on into work or to camps if the kids are in school, things like that. But then heading on into the afternoon and evening hours, a few scattered showers and thunderstorms as this cold front actually moves through. So the chance for rain tomorrow at about 40 to 50%. And I'm not saying as big of a threat for severe weather tomorrow as I'm seeing today. And any stronger storms more likely east of I-95 with a high temperature of 88 degrees. Wednesday's looking like a really nice day with low humidity and a high temperature of 86. Thursday, Friday, it's hot. High temperatures near 90. Saturday, temperatures in the mid 80s, so not bad at all. Sunday, a high temperature of 90 degrees. After tomorrow, next chance for rain holds off until next Wednesday. So again, we're looking at a stretch of dry weather, but once again, another Monday, just like last week, where severe weather has moved through the area. And again, the flash flooding, I mean, that's something that we saw people driving through and they should not have been doing that. But sometimes, obviously, like a district dog, there's no way to escape it. You just cannot escape it. So unfortunately, that was the case tonight.
Right, especially if you're already out there on
you're
the
in
road.
it,
That's why it's so dangerous. But
Exactly.
we remind people, if you can, delay your travel.
Yes, until the flash flood warnings are canceled.
I hear beeping. Does that?
I think that's okay. Jason, is that okay?
All right,
Okay,
we're all good. We'll keep you updated right
yeah.
here. All right.
Thanks
Thank
so
you,
much.
Amelia.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Today's your day to shine, and it starts with News 4 Today.
Good morning. Welcome to News 4 Today.
Showing you what everyone will be talking about.
This is a great story.
Helping you plan.
This mild start will turn into a hot day.
Sharing good news.
A small D.C. restaurant is selected for a $10,000 grant.
We surprised the owners.
Oh, my goodness.
And making you smile.
Tony has never tasted pecan pie.
I like it without the pecans.
Oh, my goodness.
Wake up with Jumi, Tony, Chuck, Melissa, and Millette. Working for you. Weekday mornings on News 4 Today.
It's Elliott in the morning. DC 101 is DC's alternative rock and home of Elliott in the morning. Tell your smart device to play DC 101 on iHeartRadio.
You get more for your money at Thompson Creek. With Thompson Creek's energy-efficient windows, you'll see your utility bills go down as the summer heats up. Don't wait. Get windows now and pay later.
And because we design, build, and install, there's no middleman markup.
So we can pass the savings on to you.
For a limited time, buy one window, get one 40% off.
Call now to save 40%.
Call 855-57-CREEK now for this amazing offer.
It's easy to get lost in investment research. Introducing JP Morgan Personal Advisors.
Hey, David.
Connect with an advisor to create your personalized plan.
Let's find the right investments for your goals.
Okay, great.
JP Morgan Wealth Management.
There's never been a better time to get away. With a great deal on the Hyundai you've always wanted. With America's best warranty and up to 3 years complimentary maintenance. It's your journey. Own every mile at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Now's the time to get in and get away. Get 3.29% APR or up to $2,000 bonus cash on the Tucson or lease for $269 a month. Visit buyhyundai.com today.
University of Maryland Global Campus is a school for real life, one that values the successes you've already achieved. Earn up to 90 undergraduate credits for relevant experience and get the support you need from your first day to graduation day and beyond. What will your next success be?
Any painter can paint, but only CertaPro painters come with power. The power of dialing up the wow factor to 11. If you want certainty, you want CertaPro painters. The power of pro. Start your project at CertaPro.com.
We are continuing to track severe weather here in our region, but we're also keeping an eye on those deadly, devastating wildfires in Hawaii. The death toll continues to rise. 96 people were killed, making it the deadliest wildfire in modern U.S. history.
And tonight we have dramatic video that shows the lengths residents had to go to escape those flames. Take a look at this. Two people jumped into a pool at their vacation condo while everything burned around them. The woman was pointing out the disaster and shielding her face from the smoke. The massive fire engulfed nearly every condo there. Other parts of the condo are in ruins and still smoldering. Jay Gray has a look at the damage tonight from Maui.
Hey there, good evening. And the devastation overwhelming on the island here. In fact, I want to give you a look at some of what teams are dealing with right now. And you can see the ash, the rubble, the crumbled cinder block here. This type of scene scenario playing out in some areas for miles, entire neighborhoods swallowed by the flames. Recovery teams continue to pour into the area and are working through situations like this, trying to find anything they can in this rubble and unfortunately uncovering at times victims from the fire. Unfortunately, the governor believes the number of dead here is going to grow, and perhaps significantly. He says it's going to be a long and meticulous process searching through the ash and rubble like you see behind us here that could take another 10 days or more. That while there are hundreds of families who have lost everything here, displaced, and really with nowhere to go long term. Many staying outside of the burn zone with relatives or friends or in shelters which continue to grow here. But there are 1,000 people or more still missing. Now, some of those may have lost their phone or haven't communicated at this point. That's obviously the hope. But again, the governor believes that the death toll here will climb. But what you hear from a lot of those who are struggling here right now is that they will be back, and they are committed to making sure they bring this area back. It is going to be a long haul, in some areas more than a year. They say that they are ready to make that happen. It's a situation that continues to unfold, and we'll continue to follow it. For now, though, I'm Jay Gray on Maui. Back to you.
Jay, thank you. NBC's Miguel Almaguer got access to some of the hardest hit burn zones there in Maui. The growing concern is about changes there that could make it difficult to protect everything that's left. They'll have much more on that coming up on NBC Nightly News after this newscast.
Up next at 6:30, back to our local breaking weather coverage. Walter Morris joins us live again from the emergency rescue of a flooded doggy daycare. We're expecting a news conference at District Dogs in Northeast DC. Stay with us for that.
We do what we do because it's important to you. More of you turn to News 4 for local news
and weather.
It's not just about being number one.
It's about you.
Thank you for making News 4 your most watched local news. Working for you.
Set summer in motion with the most electrifying Honda vehicles yet. Like the CR-V and the Accord, both with available hybrid powertrains. Designed to deliver more thrilling performance and more innovative tech. Make every adventure more electrifying with Honda, the most awarded brand in Car and Driver 10 Best history. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
At an Erickson Senior Living Community, your retirement is whatever you want it to be. Our senior living community helps you stay active or simply relax and enjoy the freedom you've earned. We take care of the maintenance and repairs so you can live your kind of retirement at an Erickson Senior Living Community.
Learn more about Ashby Ponds, Green Spring, or Riderwood. Call or visit us online for your free brochure.
Hi, I'm Katie from Long Baths. Highest quality doesn't have to mean highest price. This month, get 50% off installation of your new bath or shower, plus no payments and no interest for 2 full years.
This summer, happiness is a new Chevy. You can go farther, tow more, and bring along everyone you love. Your road to happiness begins in a new Chevy. Get 1.9% financing on all 2023 Silverado 1500 Crew Cab LT Turbo Max pickups, or current Chevy owners get $7,500 total cash allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Strong communities are built on good health. And at VHC Health, we're building on that idea with a new outpatient pavilion, a dedicated women's health center, and new primary and specialty care practices, all accessible from the palm of your hand. Becoming the region's preferred community health system brings big changes to VHC Health. But one thing that will never change is the unmatched quality of our care. For good health, for our community, for you for life.
You're watching News 4 at 6.
And welcome back. Take a look at this video that one of our viewers sent us. This is from Backlick Run in Alexandria, Virginia. You can see the water there is raging after flash floods across the region.
That is quite the scene. Now we want to get back out to the district where News 4's Walter Morris is joining us again live from Rhode Island Avenue.
And if you're just joining us, he is in an area that has flooded this evening in Northeast D.C. And once again, a doggy daycare in that area also flooded, and there are plenty of panicked pet owners.
Yeah, Walter, tell us what you're seeing out there at this point now.
Well, unfortunately, in the last 15 minutes or so, we've watched as some of those pet owners we talked to earlier have broken down in tears. Now, we haven't been able to really talk to them too much, but it doesn't appear that they have, it appears that they've gotten some really bad news here. So if you pan over here, you can see we have fire officials here sort of assessing the situation. We are expecting an update from them any minute now, but I want to bring in Melvin Thomas. Take a look. That's his blue car just there in the road. He's been standing by here, sort of watching all of this play out. But Melvin, before we came live, you were talking about just kind of what you saw. So take me back to that moment. First of all, when did you realize something was wrong, and what did you see?
Yeah, I was on my way to work. I take this road in Rhode Island Avenue every single day, never an issue, even on a rainy day. And I had come to the beginning of the bridge. I'd seen a few cars successfully navigate through it, and so I thought my car would do the same. And all of a sudden, when I least suspected it, I started floating, and I was early on, where the overpass basically begins, and all I could do at that moment was just brace and see where the car was going. And we ultimately ended up coming all the way across the bridge.
So let's point out, so you were saying you were coming this direction?
Yeah, I almost, the car floated almost the entire length of the underpass, and then at that point, the car was under no traction. I was the water was almost at the window covering the dashboard, and that's when I knew I just had to roll down my window and jump out.
And I understand we do have some video of you being rescued. Can you take me back to that moment? What was going through your head as you were sort of being pulled to safety?
Yeah, for me, it was just a matter of I'm so grateful the window rolled down that I was in a space to be able to get out. And I was grateful for the team that was near this apartment complex that gave me refuge so I could just I was completely soaked. And that's when I also noticed that the business right next to, which is District Dogs, the water was all the way halfway up the windows, and I just saw people and dogs inside, and that became the main priority.
Talk to me about that, because we saw sort of as firefighters had made their way in, but when you got there, the water was about waist high through the window.
Yeah, after I had come over to the side of the building and the amazing workers of this complex gave me some space, their energy then turned to making sure that the dogs were safe in that particular space. And that's when they were doing everything possible to make sure that that particular space was evacuated, and to the best of their ability, dogs were taken care of. I did see when I came back to just see where my car was, it was completely submerged, and the glass for the business had broken in, and water had come all the way up to the waist high of the business.
And we had watched as firefighters forced their way in to try and rescue some of those dogs. We've talked to pet owners out here, some of them getting some good news, reunited with their pets. But as we've watched just up the street here, we've seen a few still standing by, obviously visibly upset and devastated. I know you were breathing a sigh of relief that you've made it okay, but made it out okay. But have you been able to talk to any of them? And if you could, what would you say to them?
Yeah, so we have a dog at home myself. Her name is Pixie, and I couldn't even imagine the distress that they are going through, making sure their dog is safe, and just similar to me, just thinking that in a moment, a flash flood could just create such devastation to you, and hopefully everybody gets reunited with their pet.
Well, Melvin, thank you so much. We're so glad you made it out okay, and hopefully you can dry off and get home safe. Now, as far as just figuring out exactly what happened, how many dogs were inside, we expect to get some of that information from fire officials. They're standing by. We expect an update from them any minute now. But of course, we will continue to follow this story as it develops. That's the latest from here. I'll send it back to you in studio.
Thank goodness Melvin is okay.
What an incredible first-hand account of that rising water and how quickly it can change the situation.
Absolutely. All right, Walter, keep us updated. We appreciate it because we know a lot of people are still waiting to hear what's going on with their pets there. Thank you.
And we're going to take a break. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Class, old ill-fitting windows can make your energy bill hard to deal with. But Window Nation windows are designed to be energy efficient. I'm good. And now save 50% off any style of window. Window Nation, the perfect fit.
It's your last chance to punch your tickets to Vegas. What a battle!
I'm going for the $1 million. Vegas, here I come.
Vance Walker, what power! It's gonna be close!
American Ninja Warrior, tonight on NBC.
2 minutes literally can change your life.
I was mesmerized. This is my favorite season of talent.
The Acura Summer of Performance event going on now.
King Spa is not just an ordinary spa. We were the first Korean spa to exist in the United States. We are trying to combine modern features with authentic Korean cultures. We are very proud of what we have built here so far. We are very grateful for the presence of M&T. I just thought that traditionally banking service is just a banking service, but it's more like friendship, to be honest.
I definitely see M&T growing with us. I just think they're the best partner we could have.
Protect your home from pests. Contact Home Paramount Pest Control today and ask for a free inspection. Call 888-888-HOME or visit homeparamount.com.
Class, old ill-fitting windows can make your energy bill hard to deal with. But Window Nation windows are designed to be energy efficient. I'm good. And now save 50% off any style of window. Window Nation, the perfect fit.
Welcome back. We're in Storm Team 4 weather alert mode today. We have had some wild weather, some heavy rains, flash flooding throughout our region. Luckily, the worst of it is out of here.
That's right. I mean, Amelia, at one point we had tornado warnings, right?
Yeah, there were 2 tornado warnings I covered this afternoon. One for Charles County, parts of Charles County, one for parts of Northern Virginia. No confirmation on if any of those actually produced a tornado. But the biggest concern today and still remains the flooding, the flash flooding that happened. We have flash flood warnings still in effect for large portions of Fairfax County through the city of Fairfax, Arlington, Alexandria, a little bit of Arlington under a flash flood warning, the district into Prince George's County, and a flash flood warning still in effect for parts of St. Mary's County. Now, the D.C. and Baltimore metro areas are under a flash flood watch, which means that we could continue to see some additional flash flooding out there if any more storms develop through very late tonight. So the warning means that emergency management and the National Weather Service is still reporting a lot of flooded roads out there. So until the flash flood warning for your neighborhood is canceled or expired, do not travel out there tonight. But the heaviest rain is now off to our east. Checking a look at the rainfall totals, anywhere from about 1 to 3, even 4 inches of rain fell in spots today, mainly in the D.C. metro area down through southern Maryland, where the worst damage was reported. Some more storms possible overnight tonight. Some downpours are possible overnight tonight, and then some afternoon storms are possible tomorrow. We're headed to break, and we'll have much more on the severe weather this afternoon and evening after the break.
Heavy wind damage is a given in a storm of this size. It's great to see you, man.
So much work to be done here still.
A breakdown in one of your home systems can occur suddenly. Call today and ARS Rescue Rooter will take $100 off any heating, cooling, or plumbing system repair over $300. Get fast relief and guaranteed service from the pros at ARS. Call 888-762-0790.
Summer won't last forever, but during Toyota's national sales event, you can make memories that will.
Come on.
There you go.
Whoa.
Where's my mom? Just be in the moment.
Buy a RAV4 with special financing as low as 3.99%.
Or pick a spacious Highlander with as low as 3.49% on select models. Toyota, let's go places.
Progress toward global net zero will take big thinking put into even bigger action. It starts with us developing and deploying carbon capture and storage to help lower our carbon intensity, while also developing partnerships to create world-class storage hubs to help other industries, like cement, reduce their emissions too. Innovating toward lower carbon solutions today while helping others do the same for the future. That's energy in progress.
Sleepovers just aren't what they used to be. A house full of screens, basically no hiccups. You guys have no idea how good you've got it.
Get internet on the Xfinity 10G network for just $25 a month for 12 months, or upgrade to gig and save $20 a month over Verizon.
Back in my day, it was scary stories and flashlights. We don't get scared. Oh, really? Mom can see your search history. That's what I thought.
The next generation 10G network, only from Xfinity.
With Thompson Creek's energy-efficient windows, you'll see your utility bills go down as the summer heats up. Don't wait. Get windows now and pay later.
Call now to save 40%.
Call 855-57-CREEK today.
Wondering why your shower isn't as hot as it used to be? Call the experienced plumbers at ARS Rescue Rooter now for a $49 water heater flush. If you call today, we'll include a free whole home plumbing inspection. Call 888-762-0790.
Weather alert mode as we've been all evening and all afternoon. The good news is most of the bad weather is behind us, but we're not finished tonight.
We're hearing the beeps too coming from the Weather Center.
So the beeps that we're hearing coming from the Weather Center mean that the severe storms are now over the eastern shore. So those are weather alerts coming in for parts of the eastern shore right now. We're going to be quiet for the next few hours, but there is the possibility that we have some downpours overnight tonight.
Okay.
And the ground is so saturated that it's not going to take much. So I want to show you this with future weather. First, a look at the bigger picture here on Storm Team 4 radar. You can see that line of storms that move through the area really from 4 o'clock until about 6:10, 6:15. That's now over on the eastern shore. Most of our area now getting a break, even seeing some sunshine. But notice this activity back here to the west. We're going to wait for a cold front to move through. That happens tomorrow. And until that does happen, storms are possible. Timing out the possibility. Here we are, 8 o'clock tonight. Still pretty quiet across the area, but remember, a flood watch is in effect for the DC and Baltimore metro regions through very late tonight. So 10 o'clock, yeah, still pretty quiet, but look at what happens as we head toward 11 p.m., midnight, 2, 3 a.m. We start to see the potential for another line of heavy rainfall moving through the area. The bright colors here indicate the potential for some downpours. I have to say, this is a possibility. This is not a sure thing, but a lot of the computer models are hinting at this. And with all of the rain that we've had today, as I just said, it's not going to take much to lead to some more flooding concerns out there. So a heads up for the potential for some additional downpours in spots very late tonight through early tomorrow morning. But as we head throughout the normal morning hours tomorrow, getting ready for your day, heading out to work, getting your activities underway, 8 a.m. to noon, we're dry across the area. Heading on into the later afternoon and evening hours, here we are, future weather at 4 p.m. Notice we're seeing some thunderstorms, some rain in spots mainly along and east of I-95, where we could see some strong to severe storms tomorrow, mainly in southern Maryland over on into the eastern shore. The biggest concern tomorrow would be some gusty winds, but again, that is mainly east of I-95. Then as we head toward Wednesday, the humidity lowers and it's a nice day. Sean and Un, I'm going to send things over to you.
Thank you so much, Amelia. We want to get back out to Northeast D.C. to District Dogs with breaking news right now.
Walter Morris is standing by with the latest for us. Walter?
Right here. Everybody ready? Hi, I'm John Donnelly, Chief of D.C. Fire and EMS. This evening, right as the rainstorm began, the units from 12 Engine, which are located behind us at 5th and Rhode Island, noticed a rapid buildup of water underneath the Rhode Island Avenue Railroad Bridge here. They immediately self-dispatched down to the scene, called for additional assistance from our rescue teams, and started helping people out of the water. And right away, 12 Engine got people from a car that was stranded and other people whose cars, and we have up to 5 cars and a truck that were under the bridge, disabled in the water, and the water's rising rapidly. This is happening over a few minutes. The rescue boats got here and evacuated 2 more people, and the rest of the people were self-evacuating through the water on their own. It's a very dangerous situation. Over those few minutes, the water raised 6 feet here roughly to the middle of the doors, or above the middle of the doors on District Dogs behind us, and then one of the walls gave in and District Dogs flooded. And as a result of that, we've had some fatalities for the dogs, and the fire department assisted the District Dogs employees in rescuing 20 additional dogs and getting the people that worked at District Dogs out of the building safely. Some of them have been assessed for injuries, and we're still assessing that. Nobody has been transported from the scene. And overall today, over 20 people were helped out of the water by District Fire and EMS from this location.
Can you talk about the number of dogs that unfortunately did not make it out, as well as the emotion we saw on the faces of both the employees, but even your own men and women here on the scene? So
instead of giving a number, I'd like to just wait. So the District Dogs is contacting the families involved in those dogs, but the emotion it's hard to watch. It's unbearable. This is losing a member of your family or being scared that you did. And, you know, we've all been through or seen that in our communities. It's a terrible thing.
Can you verify it's more than one? And can you also say which wall was it that collapsed here?
There's a front wall where the windows came in, and then it pushed the water it let all the water into the building that way.
Multiple dogs?
Yeah, multiple dogs. I'm sorry. I forgot the first part of the question. Multiple dogs.
There's a history here on Rhode Island Avenue. This location has put up some barricades because it's been flooded before. They have complained, as have others along this route, that public programs to alleviate flooding have not been successful. So I'd just like you to address, you know, I heard your own people on the scanner on the way down here saying, you know, it happened again. This happens all the time. Does this happen all the time, and why can't we get it to stop?
So I've never seen anything like this here, and I'm unaware of the particulars with this building. I do see some walls up. I'm not sure what those are. So I think that's going to have to come out as we look at it over more time. I just don't have that answer today.
Sir, can you walk us through? I mean, is it failing?
So I think that our what's the bypass tunnel called that's being built everywhere? We're seeing that work as it comes online. It's my understanding it's not online in this area, but we're digging hundreds, probably close to 100 miles of tunnels under the city right now, and that's going on all over. I know it's worked in other areas, and I'm sure once it gets online here, it'll work. DC Water is working extremely hard on that. You had a question about?
Yes, sir. Can you just walk us through what went into that rescue? We saw firefighters knocking through the drywall as they sort of pulled out some of those pets earlier.
Yeah. So the firefighters here at the command post observed people swimming out of the building, coming out of the door. To them, it appeared they were in trouble. They immediately deployed their resources. The firefighters came in and helped the employees get through. Some of the easier ways to do it were to go through drywall. They did that. There's significant damage in there, so they had to work in that. It's a very hazardous environment with electricity, with power, with disentanglement things. So it's very hard and a rough situation to work in.
And about how many employees were trapped inside?
I believe 7, although there may have been more people, including families. Overall on the site, we helped about 20, which I think puts about 10 people in District Dogs.
Chief, I just want to make sure I understand. So you're saying, to your knowledge, you've never heard of severe flooding issues here?
So I've never heard of severe flooding issues, me personally, at District Dogs. I'm aware that we have some flooding here.
The owner was talking to another employee saying this is not our fault. They're going to say it's our fault and it's not our fault. What's your message?
So I don't know how it could be their fault.
Will there be any sort of investigation? Is this warrant one?
So absolutely. I would say we're going to look at this, figure out what happened. We'll work with DC Water and all the relevant authorities and figure out what's going on here.
Now, I did talk to one woman who got her dog and said she was watching on the webcam as the employees inside were able to rescue a number of the dogs and get. I mean, can you talk a bit to that and your reaction to their actions in there?
I think the District Dogs employees were heroes. Absolutely.
You see those red barriers up there, you know, this place always floods. I mean, something isn't really working. What does the city need to do to make sure that you're able to keep people and dogs safe?
So we'll have to figure that out in the after action. That's not my area of expertise.
Sir, where do we go from here? You mentioned this will be investigated. Who's taking over, and what are some of those answers from you?
So at this point, I don't have that. I imagine HCMA generally leads our after-action reviews, and we'll be talking to Director Rodriguez and the city administrator, and the city administrator is definitely on top of this.
Just to confirm, how many people were rescued from their cars and under the bridge?
Overall, 20 people were assisted. Some of them helped themselves out, but there are 20 people in the water affected by this.
And
I'm going to have to go ahead.
Were any in peril?
Oh, absolutely.
Will we get another update once you...
I don't think so tonight. I'm not going to have any new information
Final words
for you.
to the community.
Keep your families affected by this today in your thoughts and prayers, and be careful out there. Don't drive into standing water.
Well, there you have it. So we just got an update from the fire chief. He called district dog employees heroes. He mentioned 6 feet of water went into the business. He also said that he has never seen anything like this, but unfortunately, again, multiple dogs did not survive. Of course, we will stand out here all night and try and get more answers, but I'll send it back to you in studio.
Yeah, the chief saying that when it comes to the emotion, knowing that multiple dogs died, that he said it is unbearable, hard to watch, that it's losing a member of the family. He didn't want to say specifically how many dogs died, but that this was a very terrible situation.
Just being dog owners and watching as those dogs were being pulled out, it was heartbreaking to see. And Walter, I know at some point you spoke to some of the dog owners who were there on the scene, who were watching and waiting. What did they say to you?
Well, unfortunately, it looked like one of those dog owners that we talked to earlier, she got that news that no pet owner wants. We've mentioned that people drop off their dogs at dog daycare because they want them to be taken care of. So to sit here helpless, watch that water pour in, watch those firefighters pull dog after dog out, hoping that hers would be out there, and it doesn't appear she has been reunited with hers this evening. But we are waiting. Of course, this is a very tense and just raw moment for these pet owners, so they've asked us to sort of keep our distance, and we've chosen to respect that.
Of course, and Walter, the chief also mentioned that it happened so quickly that it was within minutes that the water rose there under the Rhode Island Railway Bridge, and it was up to 6 feet, and they had to rescue at least 20 people from that area. Can you talk about how dangerous that situation was?
Well, that's right. And, we always warn people, we always advise people, don't drive into standing water. And we'll see what I'm talking about. We talked to the driver of that blue car earlier. He mentioned it was just a few inches of water. He didn't think anything of it. And before he knew, his car was under the bridge and the water was coming up to the roof. He actually had to climb out, swim out through the window. Luckily, he is okay. But this all happening right as that wall of water was entering district dogs. He mentioned, he saw the water waist high when he had gotten over here to a safer distance. And then when we heard from the chief, he mentioned there were close to 10 employees trapped inside when they got here. But again, he stressed he's calling those employees heroes. They did everything they could to save as many dogs as they can. And of course now we're still waiting for specific numbers, but just a very, very difficult time for some of these families as they wait to hear more.
Absolutely. It's going to be a tough evening, I know, for them and for the employees who work there as well. Thank goodness the Swiftwater rescue teams were there to help out tonight. Walter Morris, thank you for the update.
And we're going to take a break right now. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
877-CALL-FIR, FHFIR.com.
It's back to school season, and there's so much good news happening in our classrooms, schools, and community. So tell us about it here. Watch weekdays and start your day with a smile.
News for today, getting you ready for school.
And working for you.
This is gonna be close. But it looks like Paige is onto a winner with PointsBet. With our exclusive Lightning Bets, you can bet live on the next play, minute by minute, or build a live same-game parlay right in the middle of the action. Sign up now and get 5-second chance bets up to $100 each. PointsBet, your move.
Any painter can paint,
But only CertaPro painters come with power. The power of dialing up the wow factor to 11. If you want certainty, you want CertaPro painters. The power of pro. Start your project at CertaPro.com.
Getting around isn't as easy as it used to be. That's why we called Bath Fitter. They removed our old tub and installed a beautiful new spacious shower. Now, getting in and out is a breeze. And we have peace of mind with seamless walls that provide a watertight fit, plus their lifetime guarantee. Thanks to Bath Fitter, life is so much easier with a shower we love.
Don't wait. Call right now and pay no interest for 24 months. Find out why Bath Fitter is the perfect fit.
We are Astound. Experience the #1 rated internet with this special offer. And now we have mobile too. Switch today. Get fast, reliable internet starting at $25 a month all in for 1 year. Don't forget to ask about Astound Mobile. We are Astound.
Are you on your way?
Yep, coming.
And Mom and Dad?
Don't worry, they'll be there.
Happy anniversary!
Go beyond the expected with the #1 most dependable mass market brand 3 years in a row by J.D. Power. Get 3.25% APR for up to 48 months on a new 2023 Sorrento.
We continue to stay on top of some tragic news out of the district. Multiple dogs are dead after flooding at a doggy daycare in Northeast. You heard live from the district fire chief moments ago. The chief saying that the crews rescued as many dogs as they could from district dogs, but sadly some of them did not make it.
Yeah, we heard the chief say that first the water was coming in so fast and so high that it was up to 6 feet there at the door. You can see right there, that is the owner himself. This facility has flooded out last August, and they were able to get all of the dogs out in time. Unfortunately, it did not work out that way this time.
And we know that there were owners who've been waiting at the district dogs location trying to get word, and as soon as we get more information about the situation here at District Dogs, we'll bring you the latest in the NBC Washington app.
NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt starts in about 60 seconds.
We'll see you back here at 11. Have a great night.